Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Wrestling Rundown, the grand return of my appearance on the Wrestling Rundown, episode 211. I'm here with,
Chris.
and I'm on the Birdman Finch. Now, if Chris sounds very echoey, there's like nothing we could do about it. We legit tried to fix the issue, so you're just gonna have to deal with it. So just deal with it. Like, it's nothing we can do about it. So, whatever.
Yeah, it's sad, but
Yo.
I'm pathetic, so who cares?
So you have to hear Chris twice, 2 times. So you're not go- and you probably don't even. They probably don't even want to hear you once, so now they got to hear you twice.
Like, I don't want to hear myself once.
Yeah. So this is a history-making day, Chris, because not only is it the return, I think it's your first video for like ever. Like you haven't done a video in so long. Like
yeah, it's been ever. It's literally been ever.
The last video we did together was NXT Takeover in your house. Remember we did predictions when I came over your house for it. So.
Oh yeah, that was like. It says 6 months ago.
Yeah. Doesn't feel like it because a lot has changed since then. So.
Yeah, so much has changed.
Especially with NXT, but we'll talk about that when we get there. So.
Yeah, because we haven't done a fucking show since then.
So this is going to be the end of an era too, because this is going to be the last rundown that's structured this way. We're going to change the structure. I mean, like James and stuff has changed the structure anyways, the ones I wasn't on, but pretty much what happened as I explained it in my I'm Back video. When you lose your wallet, you don't have time to do videos. So basically, we're doing this video to compensate the fact that I couldn't review these shows. So. It's pretty much so. Chris, just don't be like me and lose your wallet, because then you're gonna have to make videos to compensate that type of stuff. So don't lose your wallet. But yeah, let's. If you want to know the topics, it's called Read the Description. How about that? See, Chris, isn't it great? We're back and we're not even being nice to anybody. We're just gonna chase the fans. We're just gonna chase We're just gonna chase the fans away right when we come back.
Chase the money.
Yep. People probably wonder why I'm not going to make any money on YouTube. It's because I'm chasing the fans away. So
just get them all away. Can't get any views.
I'm just chasing them too. Just chasing them down the neck. I'm going to make sure they never come back. Like I don't need them. They don't need me. So
let's go full yield.
Yeah. Look, 2 minutes in, and reviews are just going to be.
2 minutes in. All right, for rails. What is new?
Yeah. All right, let's just get to the video. We're doing timestamps again, and if you don't like it, again, deal with it. You have to deal with Chris's echo. You're going to have to deal with this, too, so...
I mean, times are helpful, I guess. If people like time, if you don't, you just want to watch the whole video.
That's fine, too. Yeah, that's fine, too. Whatever.
Do whatever you want. You want to watch 15 seconds of it, watch 15 seconds of it. You want to watch the first second of it and the last second of it, then fine, do it.
You'll be freaking weird. Imagine someone doing that and
so it's totally your prerogative.
Yeah. If you don't want to watch any of it, that's okay too. I mean, it doesn't help us, but if you don't want to watch it, you don't have to watch it. So
you don't have to. I'm not forcing you to, and I'll hold a gun to your head. It's like, watch this. You can make up your mind. You're a big boy and you're a big girl. You can do that.
This video is not made for kids, so technically that's the case. So
not made for kids. That's right.
All right, pause. All right, so let's start with our Day 1 review. That was the name of a pay-per-view for some reason. Not New Year's Revolution, Day 1. Me and my friends were joking around. So do you think they're going to do, like, if they did a pay-per-view every day, was like, if they had done it one the next day, would it be Day 2? Like, they should just do pay-per-views every day. Day 2, Day 3.
They should be Day 2 review.
They should do Day 239. Like, that'd be awesome. That'd be great.
Every one of them. It's not even like... It's not. There's no more names. It's just numbers.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be awesome. Royal Rumble, you don't need any. No, the funniest thing they should do, they should have like whatever day the Royal Rumble's on, and have the Royal Rumble pay-per-view the same day. That'd be hilarious. Just.
It's a pay-per-view.
But yeah, Day 1. I can imagine what day do you think this show took place on, Chris?
It's on the big one.
That's right. So So yeah, I hadn't watched the main roster, not because I didn't want to watch it, but because I was so busy with work and everything. I'd just always be too tired to watch it. So I didn't really know much what was going on going into this show. I had an idea, but in a sense, it kind of benefited me because the show changed anyways, like the day of the show. So,
It did, yeah.
I mean, it was speculated anyways because, you would think with vaccinations and all that type of stuff, we won't talk too much about it, that COVID-19 would be a distant memory by now, but it's not the case. You can still get it, so sucks.
It is what it is. The part of life.
Yeah.
I put it as.
So, the day of the show, Roman Reigns tweeted that he tested positive for COVID-19 and he wasn't going to be able to make day one. He was supposed to defend the Universal Championship against Brock Lesnar, which would have been a pretty big match considering the fact that there was more narratives involved because this time Lesnar didn't have Paul Heyman. No, sorry, Reigns didn't have Paul Heyman, and it was going to be so type of intrigue. And they probably have talked about this, but they talked about it on SmackDown. Reigns was like just getting close to breaking Brock's first Universal Championship reign. So it's going to be a pretty damn big match, but obviously COVID-19 was the biggest heel in the world and didn't want us to have that match. So instead, they had Brock Lesnar. They wanted to use him. They paid, Lesnar's probably already flown in by now and stuff. Lesnar's probably like, I had to waste my money and my time to fly. I'm freaking wrestling tonight. So he instead was inserted into the Fatal 4-Way match for the WWE title, which became a Fatal 5-Way match. And, yeah. I mean, I think they made it work. And
They made it work. They made it better.
Yeah. But we'll talk more about it as the show goes on. As for the show, we had the kickoff show. Like I said, I didn't take any notes because I forgot this. I was coming back to YouTube and stuff, so it's my first week back, and I didn't take any notes. So I don't know what you want me to do.
Everything.
Let's see if I can remember the names of who was on the panel. It was Caleb Braxton, JBL, Booker T, Peter Rosenberg, and I think this one you're going to have to help me with. It's the guy, it's like that Irish guy that's on there or whatever. What's his name?
Kevin Patrick.
Yeah, that's it. And they did fine on the pre-show, but I really wasn't listening because I was with friends and we were talking, so,
Can't do that. You have to sit there and watch it, listen to every second of it.
Yep. We listened to some of it, but obviously not all of it. So let's see if I can remember what was on the kickoff. I know Ken Woods and Sir Kofi Kingston did a promo, but I couldn't hear it because I was talking to my friends. So, when you talk to friends, you can't hear promos.
I would have told them just to shut the fuck up and let me listen.
Maybe I wanted to talk to them, though. That's the thing.
What if you didn't want to talk to them? What if you wanted to listen to King Woods and Sir Kofi Kingston instead?
I didn't really want to, so that's okay.
Well, that's me.
Did you hear this promo? You want to talk about what they said, or did you not hear it either?
I didn't hear it either. I mean, what the hell was that? I don't even know the hell. I wasn't even home. That's why. I was coming home from my grandmother's house.
Oh, and then the Miz was raging against the fact that Edge interrupted his wedding renewal vows, whatever's. So, it's typical stuff you would expect him to say.
Yeah, typical heel shit.
He did.
Heel gets married. Heel gets some sort of celebration. Face comes out.
Yep.
Face destroys it. Like it's cut and paste. It's been that way for fucking 30 years.
He did rage on the fans for not voting for him in Dancing with the Stars. I bet you no wrestling fan was watching Dancing with the Stars. It just doesn't seem.
I literally couldn't even tell you the last time I even watched Dancing with the Stars.
I never have. So.
I watched it like 12 years ago, maybe when my mom was watching it.
Well, I have a feeling the only reason you were watching it was that was the season Chris Jericho was on too. I have a feeling that was the reason.
It could have been.
Yeah.
Or I was just watching it because I liked it at the time. I forget. I don't know. My mom was watching it. It's like 2008.
Oh, so maybe not then. Because Jericho wasn't on until like later. Because Jericho wasn't on until like later on in his career. Because I remember You'll probably think it's weird. I remember that. I remember that because Jericho was like in the midst of his heel run then, so he wouldn't have done that back then. So.
Oh yeah.
Because he wanted to keep the kayfabe. But how weird would that have been? He just turned heel and then here I'm going on Dancing with the Stars now. That would have been weird.
That'd be awesome.
The kickoff match on the show was a tag match. It was Cesaro and Ricochet versus Sheamus and Ridge Holland. This was a good match. I gave it like 3 stars. Now I am being a bit generous because they did have a factor in there where Ridge Holland got hurt, so they had to call most of the match on the fly. I feel bad for Ridge Holland. This dude either injures somebody or gets injured himself.
He really injures himself.
I know.
Because there was a spot in NXT where he blew out his knee.
Yeah, for sure.
And like I think it was like a slide through or something, and he fucking just completely blew out his knee. And this one, Ricochet did like a flip and landed on his fucking face and broke his nose.
Yeah, so he was taken out of the match for the rest of the time. And Sheamus essentially just wrestled a handicap match and won. He beat Cesaro with a bro kick. So
it was hysterical.
Yeah. I mean, I think they were booked to go over anyway, so it's kind of like whatever. I would have just called it on the fly and just had Cesaro and Ricochet win, because now it kind of makes them look weak. The fact that they had a 2-on-1 advantage like the rest of the match and couldn't.
The baby faces had the advantage in a stipulation that usually favors heels.
Yeah,
and they still lost.
So what a geek Cesaro and Ricochet were. Bunch of geeks. It's a nerds.
The losers.
But no, this is a good match. I gave it like 3 stars. What did you think of it? Or did you not see it?
I mean, I kind of caught the end where I kind of caught the part where Ricochet fucking stomped on Ridge Holland's face.
Yep.
You know why they lost? Is because you know why he got taken out of the match? Because his name's Ridge.
Yep.
What a weird name.
Yep.
My name's Ridge.
Did you ever see like those weird promos he did in NXT where like he was like this big player? I don't even know, like he's some type of like whatever sport they call down there, and he's like this big thug or whatever, and it's like a week's. I think it's like in real life it's really not that tough of a sport as he makes it out to be or whatever. Like
cricket or something like that.
Yeah, it's like some weird like I don't know. Anyhow, let's start with the show. Because I don't think anything else happened on the kickoff show. The actual show itself. The commentary team on the SmackDown side of things were Pat McAfee and Michael Cole. I think they only called like 1 match. That was it. I think
the Usos match.
I don't think they. Oh, McIntyre and Madcap Moss.
Singles match with McIntyre.
And then that was it. Because
Riddick Moss, and that was it.
Yeah, that was it.
Wow.
And then the.
Well, it's kind of an odd. It is an odd number based on like.
Yeah.
Pre-show included the 7 matches.
Oh yeah.
Most of them are Raw away, so.
And then the Raw commentary team was Byron Saxton, Corey Graves, and Jimmy Smith. So good for them. Got a nice.
I actually really like that commentary team. I actually really like Jimmy Smith.
Yeah, me too.
He was better than Adnan Virk.
I never heard him, so I couldn't tell you.
He was really bad, like a sports announcer, and they tried to like. He's like a baseball announcer, and they try to make him like raw, like to do raw commentary. He really had no idea who anyone was. He was calling them by their. He called the Viking Raiders by their wrong names.
So are we talking like Mike Adamle bad or like not?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Well, not Mike Adamle bad because he got the names right. It was just the wrong person. It was like in the Attitude Era when Jim Ross would switch up Matt and Jeff Hardy's name every fucking week. Every single match he called Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, and Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy.
That's awesome.
Like what the hell? Because I'm going back and I'm watching the whole thing now. And it's like, oh my god, I'm like, he literally can't tell them apart.
Yep.
It's pretty obvious who's who.
So yeah, the opening match was the Usos defending the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. I know you want to call them the Tag Team Championships, but they were both on this show, Chris. We have to call them the White Championships.
See, I came to a compromise on that. And that's, if they're both on the show, you call them what brand it is because they're both on the show.
Yeah.
But if it's a SmackDown or Raw branded show, you don't have to call it that because we know what fucking brand it is.
For sure. That's actually going to change.
So this is acceptable because both of them are on the show and both of them being defended.
Yep. It was the Usos defending against Ken Woods and Sir Kofi Kingston. I mean, obviously this is a great match. Like, the New Day and the Usos have like never had a bad match with each other.
Fucking bangers! Love them all. They're all really good.
And this might be one of the best ones that they have had. Like, I don't think it quite tops the SummerSlam kickoff match. For sure, it tops that 5-star classic Hell in a Cell match. That 5-star.
5-star classic, baby.
If you don't know and you have to
comedy spots in it.
You have to say it's 5 stars too, or else you lose all credibility too. So, if you don't know the reference, go check out our old Aftershock Corner episodes, and you'll understand what we're talking about.
It was Hell in a Cell.
Yep.
It was a Hell in a Cell 20. I want to say 16.
17.
It was a 17 because we were still all at school at the same time.
Yeah. Well, it was 17 because I was at 2016 and it was a Raw show. So.
Yeah, it was 16.
So yeah, this is probably one of the best ones I've seen. Now, in fairness, you've probably seen the matches more, but I hadn't seen them wrestle probably since that Hell in a Cell match or like fairly after that. So it had been a while since I'd seen them wrestle, so it felt like a fresh matchup. And yeah, just obviously just go sit down and watch it. I can't do this match justice. It was like a 4 3/4 star match, not quite 5 stars because I've seen them have better matches. I don't think they've had a 5-star. Well, obviously the Hell in a Cell match 5 stars.
Yeah,
obviously.
I mean,
you know.
But this is pretty much like almost on par with a lot of the matches that they've had.
For sure.
They've literally had a bad match because they've been consistently great teams for so long.
One of them could get injured. I think they'd still have a great match.
Oh yeah, I mean, they just have so much chemistry. Like they can literally do anything.
And the Usos win with the 1D, which is basically the 3D, except it
was a tribute to the Dudleys.
Yeah, which is kind of cool.
They asked Bubba ahead of time if they could do it, and he said yes, and he gave the blessing.
Well, that's cool. And it was kind of weird because the Usos got like a face reaction because this was the same day that Roman Reigns, tested positive for COVID. So they were kind of acting a bit babyface in this match at some points. So
yeah. I mean, it's kind of weird because the Bloodline are heels. They are full-fledged heels, but they get cheered like crazy. Especially Usos. I mean, people don't like Roman Reigns, and now it's okay to not like him because he's a heel now.
Yeah.
But like, I still love him. I think he's awesome. I think this gimmick is probably the best gimmick he's ever had. Yeah. And Usos are just really likable because they're fucking damn good. That's why.
For sure. But yeah, what do you give this match, and any other additional thoughts you have about it?
I give the same rating. It was just a fantastic match. Like we said already, you put these two together and it's just magic. It's just there's so much chemistry there between the two teams. They've done it for fucking 6 years. They've had some outstanding matches. You really can't pick and choose which one's the best because they've all been equally great.
Well, the 5-star Hell in a Cell match, that's the best.
The 5-star Hell in a Cell match with the comedy spots in it, you can't forget about that. But yeah, if Meltzer wants to feel froggy and jump, give him a 5-star, legit 5-star.
Yo.
What do you want?
Then we had Drew McIntyre versus Madcap Moss with Happy Corbin. Not the best match, but it was a perfect cool-down match after the first match. And I
the first match is high-flying, fast-paced, and this is just sort of like,
whatever.
Typical WWE thing where they started with a banger, and then the next match is usually like women's match or a match that no one cares about.
However, though, there were the chops that McIntyre was hitting on Madcap Moss sounded painful. Like those sounded like they hurt. Like
you gotta make them look like they hurt.
Yeah,
that's not believable.
Obviously, Drew McIntyre won because Madcap Moss wasn't beating him. Maybe Madcap Moss was getting too much offense in on him, but whatever. And then
Drew
later,
McIntyre wins LOL.
and then later in the night, he was attacked by Madcap Moss and Corbin, and then Corbin put a chair around his neck and hit, grabbed an. He didn't grab a chair, but he grabbed like some type of thin, like interview set thin beams that they have, and like hit Drew McIntyre with the chair around his neck. So Drew McIntyre is going to be out for a while. They gave like this BS like medical evaluation on him on SmackDown, and it was like really stupid. But it's like the.
Did you see the video replay?
No, I haven't.
How they showed like they showed the beatdown and everything, but once they went down to like showing McIntyre get hit with like the beam or whatnot, they blacked out the screen so you couldn't see it.
Huh?
Because it was too violent.
Okay. Seen way more violent things than that, so.
But the actual thing is, Drew is actually legitimately hurt. He has got some neck problems right now, so this is a way just to write him off TV.
Yeah.
To see if he needs surgery. I mean, it's becoming more of a thing now that wrestlers are having neck problems now. Seems like a lot of them in recent years have been, Sheamus has neck issues, and now Drew's got neck issues. Steve Austin had neck issues for years.
Yeah.
It seems like the longer you go in your career, the wear and tear starts to happen, and mainly in your neck.
Yeah, for sure. He
it kind of sucks too because he was just coming off of like a really good, like a great year, and it just sucks. But
yeah,
what can you do? It happens. Injuries happen. He's getting checked out within the next couple of weeks, and hopefully it's nothing serious. But if it is, he's going to be out for a very long time because his next feud is going to be against Roman.
Oh, it sucks even more then. But yeah, so the Madcap Moss Drew McIntyre match was like a 2-star match. It's a filler match on the show.
That's exactly. I give like 1.5. It's a filler.
And then let's see, what was the next match? There was no U.S. title match. There was no women's tag title. Was it the Raw tag title match with RK Bro versus the Street Profits?
Yeah.
This was a very good match. They came out with a band that sings the show. I don't really care who it is, so whatever.
I don't even know who it was, so.
Apparently, there's a back story where they were fans at one point and tried to get got a picture with Randy Orton. He wasn't very happy about it, but he still took the picture. So there's a backstory behind that, which is kind of cool. And it's like his son's favorite band or whatever. So whatever.
I mean, it's whatever. It's a good match, though.
Yeah, it was a very good match. The Street Profits looked fairly strong in there. And RK Bro won. Randy Orton. Matt Riddle threw Montez Ford up, and he caught him into an RKO, and it looked pretty damn awesome. I still love the tag team with RK Bro. It's still an awesome tag team.
Yeah, it's still an awesome tag team. I just I don't know where the Street Profits go from here.
Yeah, I don't know either, because I have no idea.
They've done literally everything they could as faces. I mean, they're just really over.
Yeah.
Do they split up? Is this like kind of because I think it was Angelo Dawkins appeared on Ryan Satin's like behind the whatever the hell it is, behind the superstar thing or whatever, and said that he wants to do similar to what the New Day did, where they broke up amicably and no one turned on each other and they just went their own separate ways. But like if they want to get back together for like a tag match, they do.
I mean, the best way. The best way to do that is obviously split them up in the draft, but I don't know what.
Yeah, I think honestly, out of the two, I think Montez has unlimited potential.
For sure. I kind of worry about Angelo. I have a feeling if they split up Angelo.
That's the thing, like when you split them up, like where does Dawkins go from here?
Main event. And I don't mean the main event at all. He goes to the main event on the TV show main event.
He goes to the opening match on main event.
Yep. Oh, that's even worse.
The 2-minute opener.
Yep.
Because you know that's going to happen. And Montez will be like number one contender for either like the U.S. title, Intercontinental title, or the heavyweight title. And then like Angelo Dawkins is like chasing around Reggie for the 24/7 championship.
Yeah.
So that's even worse than main event, I think.
Yeah, it is. I don't even know if I want to see that.
Right now, Dana Brooke now is the 24/7 champion.
Yeah, but Reggie will probably have it by that point anyway. So, um, yeah, I don't know what the future holds for the Street Profits. I'm assuming they could challenge again for the belt at some point, or they could find another team to feud with. But I don't think there's much teams in the Raw Tag division. I think it's just
I think they've literally done everything they can as baby faces.
yeah. Maybe I don't want to see him turn heel either though because I don't know what.
I don't either because I like them a lot, and I don't think it would fit their gimmick.
No,
The gimmick revolves around crowd participation.
they would have to completely change gimmicks if they turn heel.
Yeah, they have to go dark. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And so it kind of makes sense for them to split up and then have Montez be the main event player kind of guy.
And Angelo Dawkins is chasing 24/7 champion.
24/7, baby. 24/7, 365.
Yeah. Then it was I think it was who was it? Was it the Raw Women's title match? That doesn't even sound right.
No, it was Edge. It was Edge against The Miz.
Oh, okay. This was a great match right here. Really enjoyed this. Basically, it's a common copy of the match that they had in the past, except a little bit better. And The Miz was on the verge of winning, and then Beth Phoenix ran out and even out the odds, which I assume was going to happen. And then it allowed Edge to beat him with a spear. And Edge got the victory, which I think everyone expected to happen. I enjoyed the feud going into it, though.
It's been good. It's been really good.
Yeah.
The one thing that Edge did is Brood entrance again.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was awesome. That made me mark out. I was like, yes.
I like that he's doing that.
I like to bring it up for special occasions.
Yeah.
When the feud needs it. Right after you did the bloodbath, I was like, okay, so maybe they're going to do that entrance at the pay-per-view.
Yep. So I enjoyed
Which makes sense. Bring it up during the big events. People still know this. People still want to see that entrance. People still want to see, like, Brood Edge.
For sure.
That's a great gimmick.
Yeah, I like the gimmick. Then it was Becky Lynch defending the Raw Women's title against Liv Morgan. Very good match right here. Obviously, what takes me out of it is I don't like Becky Lynch as a heel. It's been awful.
Yeah, it's not good. And the match is a bit botchy, too, also.
Yeah, there was I remember there was some botches in some places.
The finish, I think, was botched.
Yeah, Liv Morgan went for the Oblivion, and Becky Lynch hit the manhandle slam. I forgot. You can't forget that. What a terrible name of a finisher that is.
Because it's man.
Yeah.
And it's a handle, and it's a slam.
And Becky Lynch retained the Raw Women's Championship, which obviously makes sense because I think she's going into WrestleMania with the title.
Never made sense for Liv Morgan to win to begin with because she's not a credible challenger.
No.
As much as people want to say she is, she really isn't.
Not really, no. They just didn't have anybody else, so they
just threw her in there. And her promos have been god awful.
Yeah, they've been pretty bad.
Like, so her tone remained the same from the first word to the last word. There was no tone. There was no raising of the voice. There was no lowering of the voice. There was no facial expressions. There was nothing.
For sure.
She's just so bland. Besides her being hot, there's there's no character development. That's her character development is that she's hot.
Yeah, that's it.
What else? What more do you do?
I guess not book her.
Exactly.
Then we had the main event.
Terrible, but like she's not championship worthy.
Yeah. Then we had the main event at the show, so you can stay right here.
Nope, leave it. Main event.
Can't even say those words. The last match on the show. How about that?
Yeah, right.
It was the Fatal 5-Way: Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Big E, and Bobby Lashley. Throughout the show, everybody had like some type of interview or backstage segment. Seth and Kevin Owens said they're still going to work together. Big E just talked about what it's like having to defend its title, and Lashley just was mean.
It was Lashley.
Yeah,
He was
mean.
Lashley.
Doing Lashley thins. I don't know what those thins. I don't know what Lashley thins are, but they were doing Lashley thin. He was doing Lashley thins. So.
He was just doing Lashley things. What MVP talked.
Yep. What a great WWE Championship match this was. Not Universal Championship.
Not Universal. It's not the Championship of the Universe title.
Yeah. In the beginning, Brock just like destroyed everybody. But the only one that really gave him any trouble in this match was Bobby Lashley. They really got him over, especially with where they were going to go 24 hours later with Lashley speared into the barricade. Then later on, he had him beat with the spear, but he kicked out, and then he nearly had him beat with the full Nelson, not the full Lashley, the full Nelson. That's what it's called. But it got broken up by like Big E or something. Who cares? Somebody broke it up. That's all we know. So. And then, Brock Lesnar still looked very strong. They had Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens work together because that was the only way they thought they were going to win this match. Big E looked strong in his places. And he nearly beat Brock Lesnar with the big ending, which was a pretty big deal. So that was awesome. And then Brock Lesnar won with the F5. I was actually kind of surprised that he won the title just because I didn't think it was like something that they really weren't planning. I thought they were just throwing Brock Lesnar in there just so we could have a match on the show. But no, he ended up winning the...
I've seen three things about this. One of them was a match graphic where it showed Brock Lesnar as champion, and underneath it said, Big E wins.
Yep.
One of them, obviously, which was the final decision, which was Brock winning. And then the third one was Seth was going to win. So, I don't know which one was true and which one wasn't. Well, obviously the Brock winning one was obviously true, but that was last second. So I wonder if what the actual plan was. Was Big E supposed to win, or was Seth supposed to win?
Yeah, I do wonder.
That's really interesting. I think it was supposed to be Seth because I think he's supposed to be champion going to WrestleMania.
Which kind of sucks. I would have liked to see Big E go into WrestleMania as champion, but you know.
But did you see what Seth's next feud is going to be?
Yeah, we'll talk about that
against the Big Dog.
Yeah. No, he's not that. He's not that.
Actually, there was a funny thing at the end of SmackDown this week where when Seth knocked on the door, it was the Shield theme that he was doing when he knocked on the door.
Oh, okay. So
I didn't catch it until later on.
I'll have to go back and watch that now. Then.
Yeah, if you're looking for it, you'll get it. But you have to really pay attention to it when he's knocking because he does the Shield theme.
But yeah, I thought this was a great main event. I gave it like 4 stars. The only flaw was it was way too short. It only went like 11 minutes, and that was it. Like I would have liked the main event to go a little bit longer than that. So.
Yeah, it was definitely shorter. It was like 8 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
But like overall, really liked it. It was a really good show.
Yeah, it was a great show. I remember we were kind of I think when I'd heard they were doing a day one show and stuff, I was trashing it. Like, oh, day one, why are they doing a pay-per-view on New Year's Day? No one's going to watch it. Nothing big's going to happen. And freaking, I mean, it took COVID, I guess, but freaking Brock Lesnar wins the WWE Championship on this show. So.
And he's super over.
Yeah.
He's so over. And it made sense because this week on Raw, the ratings went up.
Yep.
So again, Brock Lesnar's a draw. People tune in to this fucking show to see Brock Lesnar.
I do want to talk about this too, because I haven't really talked about it. How his mic work is so good now. Like he is such a. I don't know what happened.
The thing is, he's always been good on the mic. If you go back and watch like his 2003 stuff when he was doing a solo run,
that's true. Yeah.
As a face, late 02 into 2003, he was great on the mic.
I remember there was
just a call on him because he's just like so intense. He'll mess up his lines.
Yeah.
But like overall so far, it's been very good. Like it's been really, really good.
You could tell he definitely has that passion. I don't know if it was being away because of COVID and stuff. He's like so passionate about. Like I think this is the most passionate I've seen Brock ever.
Before it was just a paycheck to him.
Yeah.
Now it's like you can see like after I've seen so many people take pictures with Brock Lesnar now.
Yep.
When the fuck has he ever done that?
I know.
He's taking pictures with fans at ringside. He's smiling. No, that's horrifying in its own right. But like,
yeah,
he's actually enjoying this run more than he ever has, which is kind of shocking. Because when they bring him in, he'd do it, then he'd leave.
yeah.
Then he'd win the title, people would be mad, and then he'd leave. Then he'd come back 3 months later, and people would be like, "Oh, it's Brock Lesnar," and then like, "Oh, whatever." But now it's like he's taking pictures with fans. He's smiling. He's happy. People love the gimmick.
Yeah.
It's over. Looks awesome. He looks badass. He looks fucking scary still.
Yep.
That man is a horrifying human being, and I'm terrified of him.
Yeah. Scared. You might have to
Even
save
with his new look and everything too. Like that is horrifying.
Yeah.
He is scary.
I love this Brock Lesnar. This might be the best Brock Lesnar I've ever seen. Like
it is. This one top for me, top 2003. Like right after he broke away from Paul Heyman, went on that huge mega run as top babyface. Like that was really good.
Yeah.
But this one I think is the best run he's had.
Yeah.
Just because you can tell he's like legitimately enjoying himself.
Yep.
And it's not just like a job, and it's not just like a paycheck. Basically.
So that's how
which it was. You could tell.
Yeah,
he was just like he's phoning it in. He's still putting people over and whatnot, but like for the most part, like he put over McIntyre.
Yep.
But like it just wasn't like it was just the same old Brock Lesnar. Like he would come in, dance around in the ring, do his little taunt, have a 3-minute match, and then leave, and then be gone for 4 months. But like he's been appearing a ton. Like I wonder if it's like obviously it's in his contract that he has a certain amount of days. I don't know how much, but like he's been doing a lot more than he has in years. And he's a face again.
Yeah.
Like and it works because he's super over and people actually like him now.
Yeah. And he had a great heel to go against too, so that helped even more.
No. This Tribal Chief gimmick is perfect.
Yeah.
Because people genuinely hate Roman Reigns.
But yeah, that was our review of day. I'm gonna give the show like a B+. I thought it was a great show. Like this was awesome.
Give it a B. I feel like all the right people won.
Yep.
And the main event with the addition of Brock Lesnar made it way more anticipated.
And it built interest to Raw and SmackDown because we were wondering what's going to happen now that Brock's won the WWE. Because he was a free agent too. That was the biggest thing out of it too. Like
Paul Heyman negotiated his free agency.
Yep. So yeah,
it plays into both. I love it.
Yeah.
Great.
But yeah, let's talk about what happened on those shows. Pause.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're going to talk about, we're going to just do a quick overview of Raw and SmackDown. We're not going to review every second of it.
Let's go over basically storylines that's happening and stuff that's happening because it's been too long. It's been like 6 months.
Yeah.
So we're not going to go through and do blow by blow and play by play of everything that happened because we'd be here for 6 years if that happened.
Yeah. So let's start with Raw. The biggest news is Brock Lesnar. So he came out, and we didn't mention this is today on Raw. This was the first time he actually came out with Paul Heyman because obviously he didn't at day one, but he came out with Paul Heyman, which is so over. Everyone loved it, and he mocked Roman Reigns by saying, whatever city or whatever they were in, acknowledged me, which was awesome.
It's great. This feud just and Brock's talking more.
Yeah.
And it's like he's still doing he still has Paul as his advocate.
Yep.
And Paul's still talking for him, but he's also talking for himself, and his lines mean more now.
Yep.
But they acknowledge me, that got me to pop. I was like, oh shit.
And then, they took shots at Roman Reigns. They mentioned, how Karma was a bitch to Roman Reigns because the first week without Paul Heyman, he got COVID. I'll be real. I didn't really know how I felt about him saying that. But now that Roman came out okay out of COVID, I'm okay with it now. Like he
just he tested negative on Thursday, I believe, and he got cleared of the COVID protocols and whatnot and
Yeah.
cleared him. So he's negative and he's good to go now.
And then we had the fatal 4-way match we were supposed to have at day one, and Paul Heyman just ran through every participant talking about like what they bring to the table, but how they're not going to be Brock. But the one he put over the most, and there was a tie-in, was Bobby Lashley. How Bobby Lashley had Brock Lesnar in trouble the most at day one, which was obviously kind of gave you a little inkling of where the main event was going to go. But it was still pretty damn cool.
And that's one of your matches at Royal Rumble.
Yep. I thought
Bobby versus Brock, finally.
I thought it was hilarious when he was running down Seth and mentioned how Becky Lynch is going to leave him if he doesn't beat Brock Lesnar. That was hilarious.
And the one thing that kind of I was like, oh shit, like this is sick, was when he put over Big E.
Yeah.
He put over E, huge.
Yep.
And I was like, oh shit. I'm like, that's fucking awesome.
Yep.
Like that's and E deserves all the fucking respect and credit in the world.
For sure.
He had a very good title reign. It could have gone a bit longer for my liking, but he was still a very good champion.
Yep. So
representation matters.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. And then we had the 4-way match, and I really liked this 4-way match. I think the thing I liked the most about it was like they actually like brawled into the crowd and stuff, because even though I like it in 4 ways, it's just weird sometimes when they just stay in the ring and all that type of stuff. They actually like went other places and use weapons and all that type of stuff. And use the stipulation.
The best kind.
And obviously it led to Lashley winning. He beat Owens with a spear, and obviously Lashley winning makes total sense. You know, it's a match we've wanted to see for a while: Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley. And I think they're doing it now at the perfect time, because Bobby Lashley has been booked really well since like the COVID era.
Extremely strong.
Yeah, like the only questionable things I can make is like him losing to Goldberg at like Super Showdown or whatever the name of the Saudi show was that time.
Yeah. Crown Jewel.
Okay, Crown
Jewel. You know why? Because it was Saudi. If it was the United States, that match probably wouldn't have happened.
Yeah. But that's the only questionable decision I can make. But they booked Lashley really well, and they booked Brock really well. I'm really excited to even see like a promo segment between Paul Heyman and MVP. I think that would be money.
It is. That feud is that. These next few weeks, this feud's gonna be money.
Yeah.
It's something that we've wanted to see for so fucking long. It's been so goddamn long, and they refused to give us it. And now they're finally giving it to us.
You know what the best part is about Brock Lesnar being like motivated and stuff? We don't have to worry about Brock Lesnar not being motivated when the match actually happens. Because remember, we were like excited for like Brock versus Braun or Brock versus Joe, but Brock wasn't motivated, so the match kind of stunk.
The match is kind of stunk, and now it's like, Brock is having like the time of his life out there. Like, the match is going to be really fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, for as much as crap as people gave Brock over the years, he's still really good in the fucking ring.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, I think he's probably one of the best sellers today. Like, he's so good at selling. Like,
and if he needs to go long, he can go long. His matches are just better short. Nowadays, better short. But this match could go 20 minutes and it'd be awesome.
Yeah.
And I think Brock could do it.
That was really the biggest thing happened on Raw. Other things that happened on Raw is Damian Priest retained his United States Championship against Dolph Ziggler in a very good match where, like, if Priest got counted out or disqualified, he will lose the championship. So that was, like, a nice little blow-off right there. I don't know who he feuds with next for the championship, but, they're still really invested in Damian Priest, He's been on the main roster almost a year now, literally, because he debuted last year at the Royal Rumble, and they haven't messed him up yet, so that's good. We had the tag match with RK Bro versus the Alpha Academy, and RK Bro had a conversation backstage. Matt Riddle wanted Randy Orton to be a rapper with him, and that needs to happen like tomorrow. It was so, I forget the quote and stuff, but I remember there was like a point where like Randy Orton was trying to get him to listen to him, but like Matt Riddle like turned it into a rap. It was awesome. Like,
Yeah, it was. Riddle's just fucking hilarious.
This team looks so well because Riddle's the comedy and Randy Orton. I think what makes it funny is he's like trying to be serious, and that's what makes it. But Matt Riddle just won't listen to his serious.
Oh,
that's what makes it funny.
Yeah, it's a great duo.
I mean, this might be a hot take. I think it's a better duo than Heyman Page and Kenny Omega was. And that duo was great too. I'm not denying that, but this duo.
I think it's better.
Huh?
I think it's better. Arcade, bro.
And it led to their match. I typically don't like the champions losing like title matches, like and all that type of stuff, but it actually kind of built into the story because Matt Riddle wasn't listening to Randy Orton and it caused them to lose. Randy Orton never even got tagged in or anything like that either. So yeah, it's gonna build to a Raw Tag Team title match next week, which OK Bro will probably win, and I will have no complaints about that at all. Not one complaint.
No complaints at all. It was awesome. It was a good match, and it leads to a title match. So what? Get a title match next week on Raw. That's awesome.
I never thought I'd like Otis as a heel. Like I like his face one was great, but I'm kind of enjoying him as a heel.
I know it's just like it's just like stripped away everything that was interesting about him. It was just like a bland heel now. He's just a typical generic big guy heel.
Which kind of
he's like how Braun was when Braun first started out.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. And then we had a mixed tag match for the 24/7 championship. It was like Reggie and Dana Brooke versus Akira Tozawa and Tamina Snuka. That went like 1 minute and nobody cared about it, so whatever. I still like seeing Reggie, but like
I mean what Reggie's doing is cool, but like I just don't care.
Yeah, I'd rather see Reggie do something else, like go for like the U.S. Championship or something.
Yeah, just fucking do your cool flips and shit in the matches and whatnot, but yeah.
Yeah. They need to get rid of this 24/7 title like a long time ago. Like it's run its course.
It's gonna. I don't know. It's more like to set up random tag matches. Like, because recently Dana Brooke and Reggie have been teaming up a lot recently against Tamina and R-Truth or Tamina and whoever else feels like fucking joining in.
Yeah. They don't do anything really creative with it anymore. It's just like random match here and there. And also too, I could say like they've released everyone that can even go they released everybody that can even go for the belts because like I think the division's like flat now pretty much. I think that's
because they keep releasing everyone.
Yeah. So what's the point of having the belt? And then what else? We had a crappy women's tag match with Queen Zelina and Carmella where they retained the women's tag team titles against Rhea Ripley and Nikki ASH, where like everybody looked bad from it because Carmella couldn't be in the match because she was working through an injury. So why book the match to begin with?
Exactly. That's so WWE to do that.
And then Queen Zelina, I think, came out looking the best. Like, how bad did Rhea Ripley and Nikki ASH look? They basically lost a handicap match.
That's
weird. They lost again, the baby faces lost another 2-on-1 handicap match.
Again, what the hell?
And this time it could have been prevented this time. Like, that's the worst part about it. Like, Becky Lynch came out and like the second she was just talking about a Raw Women's title reign and stuff. The second she mentioned Liv Morgan, I was like, crap, they're continuing this feud. Why do we even continue in this feud? Liv Morgan lost. There's no reason. It's not like she lost by cheating or anything. She lost fair and square. Actually, one thing I want to mention about the Day 1 match, what sense did it make for Becky Lynch to go for the ropes when she already was going to win anyways? Like, what sense did that make?
So dumb.
Like, she basically cheated when she didn't even need to cheat. And then it led to Bianca Belair coming out, winning a title match, and it was originally going to be a one-on-one match between Liv Morgan and Bianca Belair, where the winner was going to get the title shot, but now Doudrop's in there, and it's going to be a triple threat match. Becky Lynch is interested. She's going to like form some type of alliance with Doudrop or whatever. I really don't care. Like,
I don't either.
Becky Lynch needs some fresh opponents. Like, the fact that they're gonna possibly do Liv Morgan or Bianca Belair again, I could just care less.
Yeah, no, I just don't care. I don't care enough.
Yeah. One thing I'm interested in to see what happens is Alexa Bliss come again though. Surprise Royal Rumble return would have been nice, but Alexa Bliss is coming back. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that it's gonna be like it's just the road to her return, that she's gonna slowly strip away that gimmick she was doing with the Lexi gimmick or whatever, and she's gonna go back to like the goddess Alexa Bliss. So
the gimmick just didn't work after a while.
Well, it also didn't work because the guy she turned on was out of the company and still was doing the gimmick. Like,
hell yeah.
Again, I think I tell people this: if you didn't know wrestling was fake and all this type, or kayfabe, I should say. Can't say that word.
It isn't.
Well, if you didn't know it was kayfabe and all this type of stuff, would you just think Bray Wyatt just like disappeared, just decided to get over it, just to say, whatever, what happened, whatever, like
yeah.
Like if you didn't know he got released, would you just think Bray Wyatt just like disappeared and got over it after a while? Like,
he's appeared off the face of the earth.
Yeah. I think that's everything on Raw. Let me think. I think that was everything. I guess I can't really say whether or not Raw was a good show. I know I was supposed to like review the show. I'm gonna say yes, just because I enjoyed the hell out of Brock and and the tag match was good.
Overall, it was a decent show.
Yeah.
The main event was really, the Fatal 4 was really good.
Yep.
The Brock segment was excellent.
Yep.
Overall, it was a good show. That really carried it.
Yeah. Tag match. The U.S. title match was good too. So then, and also I forgot one thing. People announced their participants on Raw in the Royal Rumble match. The Mysterios did, and Vince put Austin Theory in the Rumble match. That Vince Austin Theory segment was so awkward, and I hate to say it. Vince looks great, but I think he shows his age because he can barely like finish a sentence sometimes. He like mumbles half of his words sometimes. It feels like.
I just don't. I don't know. I think it's a microphone thing. Because you can hardly hear him.
The setting was weird too. Like it wasn't filmed like a typical Raw segment. Like it was just weird. Like, because when they do a backstage segment, they have like a certain way. This wasn't the backstage. The way they filmed this segment was just strange. Like it didn't feel like it was a backstage segment.
It's just odd.
Yeah.
It's just an odd thing.
I did love it though. Like Austin Theory came in there and he was like, "I apologize for interrupting," and Vince was just like Vince basically was just like he wouldn't take any BS from him. Like, well, if you feel bad for interrupting me, then you would have interrupted me to begin. Like it was just, I love how he was just calling out his bullshit pretty much. Like it was awesome.
He's a basic jackass.
Yeah. So let's talk about SmackDown now. Do the quick highlights there. So at the end of Raw, Brock announced he was going to be on SmackDown, which was added intrigue. Like it was like at the very end of the show. So on SmackDown, Roman Reigns returned, and it was weird because he was supposed to be a heel, but because he beat COVID and everything, like he was treated like a returning hero, which makes sense, but it was just kind of strange. And then he turned heel like pretty much right away. Like he said, like he has this catchphrase that he says, "Connecticut." I know that for some reason when it's in New England, that's the only time I know where they are, or if they're in Florida or something.
Yeah.
He said, "Acknowledge me," and then he talked about how I liked how he mentioned like he doesn't even how he had time to reflect in isolations about people he doesn't even want to see anymore. He's upset that he has to see Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. Then they come out and Brock Lesnar proposed that they do title for title, Universal Champion Roman Reigns versus WWE Champion Brock Lesnar. Roman thinks it's a good idea, but it's not my idea. And they basically both disrespect Paul Heyman at one point or another, because Roman Reigns mentions that like Brock, he doesn't like people that do business with a snake like Paul Heyman. And then Brock tells him to put respect on his name. and Heyman got like upset that Brock was disrespected Roman, and then when Brock disrespected him, Roman got upset that he was disrespected Brock. It was great.
Fantastic.
And I like how Heyman's conflicted because he was with both guys. He's been with Brock since the beginning of Brock's career, but he was with Roman for like over a year, pretty much. He mentions pretty much that he made sure that how he walked. I think what pissed Brock off was once he mentioned that like he idolized Roman Reigns pretty much. That's what pissed Brock Lesnar off pretty much. And Roman Reigns took a chance and took a cheap shot at Brock Lesnar, and that was like the end of the segment. Go watch the segment. I can't do it justice. It was a hell of a segment. It was awesome.
Fucking cheaters.
I think what we're getting out of this is going to be they're basically going to do what Wrestle Kingdom did, where the winner of the Royal Rumble is going to face whoever they choose as the champion. And the next night, since WrestleMania is 2 nights, the next night we're going to get a title versus title match. And it will obviously be Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar.
I agree with it. That'll be good.
Yeah. And I think Reigns is getting both belts.
He could.
I'm going to complain now if Brock got both belts.
Wouldn't complain. Wouldn't complain at all.
What did you think of this opening segment here? I thought it was a hell of a segment.
Hell of a segment. Loved it.
And then other things that happened on SmackDown, Sami Zayn with this terrible new theme music. I can't believe they got rid of his old theme music. I kind of can believe it because it's a CFO dollar sign theme music, but his theme, I bet it's not bad, but I'm just so used to hearing his old theme. It was just weird to hear him with his new.
We all were.
Yeah. It's so generic now too, like because it's the Keith Lee thing where he has his old theme in the beginning, and then it's just this generic crappy music, whatever it is. So
it's weird.
But he faced Rick Boogs. I love Rick Boogs. I love his entrance. And Rick Boogs beat him with a roll up. I could question that, considering the fact that, Sami Zayn's challenging for a title and he's losing on TV, but I was kind of like, didn't hate it, really. I was kind of okay with it because, I feel like Sami Zayn could just get a nice, easy win to rebuild himself or whatever. So, and then earlier in the show, like right before this, he had like a backstage segment with Johnny Knoxville, and Johnny Knoxville wants to be in the Royal Rumble match, and basically, everyone's thinking Sami Zayn's the bad guy here, but he's trying to save this guy. He's trying to make sure that this guy doesn't get hurt, and everybody's thinking that, Sami Zayn's the bad guy here. But Sami Zayn's trying to protect Johnny Knoxville. He's trying to protect him to make sure he doesn't get hurt.
He is a bad guy. He's a meanie. That's fun.
So he's mean for trying to protect him. Wrestling people. You just mentioned people are starting to hurt their necks. Do you want Johnny Knoxville to hurt his neck?
I want him to get hurt.
So
I love Johnny Knoxville.
You're not. I feel like you're just another conspiracy against Sami Zayn. That's all you are. That's what you are.
I am.
You just hate Sami Zayn. You don't want Sami Zayn to succeed. I bet you were one of the people that conspired to have him lose his Intercontinental Championship a year ago. I bet that's the case.
Oh, hell yeah. I was in that group. It was me. Did you not see me there?
I think you were in the Thunderdome and you were giving Big E advice on how to beat him for that Intercontinental Championship. I think
it was. Totally was.
But yeah, so Johnny Knoxville is going to be in the Royal Rumble match now.
Hell yeah!
I'm actually pretty excited about it. He's taking some type of. He's taking some type of crazy bump too. He's gonna die, I think.
It's some stupid bump, and I love it.
Yeah, I think he's getting choke slammed. It's moments like this I wish Braun was still in the company, because
Or they can have Kane do it.
Oh yeah, Kane could do it. Which Kane though? Corporate Kane or Demon Kane?
Corporate Kane.
Corporate Kane. But anyhow,
Corporate Kane always.
What else happened on this show? Charlotte Flair came out, and this is actually big news. Why don't you talk about it? I'll let you talk about it.
I don't even remember what even happened.
Oh, yeah. You didn't technically see SmackDown, did you? So.
I didn't. I saw like from this segment kind of onward.
So she came out and was going to go through the people that are going to be in the Women's Royal Rumble match. And they played like a nice little video for it. And it's like some of the typical people on the roster: Rhea Ripley, Nikki ASH, Dana Brooke, I think, was one of them. People like that, Queen Zelina. But let's get to the interesting ones, the ones that are coming back. The Bellas, which, we haven't seen them in a ring for a while. It's interesting the Bellas are still there. Especially
that was surprising.
Specifically Brie, considering who's in AEW now. So.
That's really weird. Yeah.
But that's I mean, I bet that's gonna be kind of awkward because that's her first appearance since Bryan Danielson's joined AEW. So.
Oh yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be that awkward. It'd be one thing. It'd be awkward if Bryan Danielson had talked crap, but to my knowledge, I don't think he's talked really badly about WWE since he's left. So.
No, he hasn't.
I think he said a few things, but nothing. Like he hasn't shot on him like hardcore, like a lot of people do when they leave. So, so the Bellas were interesting. Summer Rae, that's pretty interesting.
That was surprising.
I never thought I would actually see her wrestle again because.
No, I didn't either.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a full-time comeback or if it's just gonna be a one-time thing, but we'll have to wait and see.
That was definitely that was strange.
Yeah. I am kind of worried to see how she's going to be because I don't think she's done anything like in a ring in a while. So, but that's the beauty of the Royal Rumble match. You don't have to necessarily be good to be in it. Speaking of not having to be good to be in it, Kelly's going to be in the Royal Rumble match. So, Kelly's
a surprise.
I think she's in it every year, right? I don't think she's missed a Royal Rumble.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
The only one the only one I could think of that she missed was probably the COVID one. But I think she was even in that one. Michelle McCool is going to be in it. Again, I think she's been in every one too, so that wasn't that big of a surprise. And then Lita's going to be in it, which is pretty... I would have liked Lita to have been saved as a surprise because we haven't seen Lita. I don't think we've seen Lita since like pre-pandemic, if I'm mistaken.
Yeah, you haven't seen Lita in quite a long time.
So I wish Lita had been saved as a surprise. Again, I think I wish we kind of had a surprise because also this is the first Royal Rumble that's going to have a crowd. So
that would have been better for the surprise.
Yeah.
Easily.
I mean, I think the one thing we got to talk about, this is what happens when you fire everybody. You have to basically give away all your surprises.
Yeah, exactly, because some people will fucking tune in.
Yeah. Well, also, too, I'm saying, like, you have to give away, too, because you basically have to, like, announce, basically, you have to announce, you can only announce people on your roster. There's enough people on the roster to get people tuned in to want to watch a Royal Rumble.
Exactly.
The biggest one, I know everyone's going to say, why is this person bigger than Lita? Well, that's because of the circumstances around it. Is Mickie James. And why Mickie James is a bigger deal is because right now, obviously Hard to Kill's tonight, so this could change. She's currently the Impact Wrestling Knockouts champion. And typically people are going to be like, well, what's the big deal? WWE has had Impact talent on the show before but hasn't mentioned it. This time, however, Pat McAfee specifically mentioned that she was the current Impact Knockouts champion. Like they mentioned on screen that she was the Impact Knockouts champion. So I feel
that was surprising in its own right.
Yeah. If they had just announced Mickie James, I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. But the second Pat McAfee announced that she was the Impact Knockouts champion, I think that's when I kind of knew it was, okay, wait, is something happening here? Like,
yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah. So this is exciting because I think WWE we talked about it last year. We wanted WWE to, enter this forbidden door that they have going on, and it looks like this is the starting stages of it. And of all places they're going to start to do it with, it's Impact, the brand that was created to try to kind of put them out of business. The brand that competed against them in 2010 in the second coming of the Monday Night Wars.
Exactly. Yeah.
I never thought in a million years WWE and Impact Wrestling would be like working together. I know it's not the same like
people.
Too. Huh?
So I never thought it would happen.
I mean, I know it's not the same people in management and everything, but it's still just wild. Like,
it's insane.
And this, I kind of hope this isn't just a one and done thing. I hope we can get some more stuff out of this, and I hope they can learn from the mistakes of the AEW Impact partnership and really make this turn into something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I hope so.
Can you imagine how over?
I don't have any high hopes. I have high hopes for it, but I don't think so.
Yeah. Just think about how old. Like, can you imagine if? Say if they go full on with this, the matches we could see like Moose and Roman Reigns go at it, title versus title.
That'd be fucking awesome.
Like, who wouldn't want to see Moose versus Roman Reigns? And I don't know if you know about this. Because when Moose won the world title, the first person, he didn't mention him by name. He mentioned this isn't a tribal chief type of thing.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. And if I think something people aren't really talking about, because the impact is huge. Everyone also forgets Mickie James has like a pretty big role in the NWA. This also opens up a partnership between WWE and NWA as well.
That'd be interesting.
Which I think NWA needs more than anything else, because basically since the pandemic hit, they've gone downhill fast. Way fast. Yeah. So, WWE and NWA working together could really help, because I don't know if you know this, NWA Power was going to go on they were working on making a deal for it to go on the network when the network was just on a standalone thing. So this could open, I kind of hope this opens a partnership with WWE and NWA. So, but again, I don't want to get too excited about it, because this could just be a one and done thing.
It could be, yeah, honestly.
Because the biggest thing that could happen is Mickie James could come out with the Knockouts Championship. I'm gonna wait and see. That'd be funny. The biggest thing we haven't talked about is just crazy to think that Mickie James is even returning to WWE, because it's not even been a year since she was fired, and they had the whole trash bag incident. I never thought I figured she'd make her way back there eventually, but I didn't think she'd be back there with not even a year afterwards. So
it's not even a year.
Yeah. So this is huge. And I'm actually excited to see what happens with this.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
It really.
Continuing with the segment though, then Charlotte Flair announced that there's a bigger name that's going to be in the Royal Rumble match. Just like someone who's done all this stuff, and it's Charlotte Flair. I knew, but the way that promo was going, I knew exactly that what was going to happen. She was going to be like, oh, it's going to be someone that's groundbreaking, and it was just Charlotte Flair. I knew that was coming. Then Naomi came out and challenged her to a match. So they had their match, and I'm like, wait a minute, isn't Naomi feuding with Sonya Deville? I'm wondering how this is going to go. Naomi had the match won by countout. Nope. You can't win the match by countout anymore. Then Naomi was going to get a rope break. This didn't even make any sense. Then she said, oh, you can't win this match by DQ. Like, it would have made more sense if, Charlotte had used a weapon. But so how did Sonya Deville, Charlotte Flair wasn't going to, she would have probably broken the submission hold. It was just weird.
It is really weird, yeah.
So guess what happened? Charlotte Flair won via authority interference. I didn't like this at all.
I don't like it at all. That was terrible.
Have they ever explained why Sonya Deville is an authority figure now? Has that never been explained? Do we just have to accept it? Because you remember she came back and she's just randomly an authority figure. Like,
yeah, it's just like then she had like what 2 matches and then she's back to being an authority figure again.
Yeah. I don't get it. I remember too, like, Adam Pearce made it seem like he was going to talk to her about that, like, situation. But he's like, no, we got to talk about Roman Reigns' next challenge. It's like, wait. Like, is it, like, like, I don't know. I guess he doesn't watch SmackDown, so, he's got more important things to do, Adam Pearce, I guess. So.
Yeah, I guess so.
I guess you have more.
He wasn't Raw, though, I think. That's
true, yeah. What else on SmackDown happened that was pretty big? I forget.
We covered it, really.
The main event.
The main event was, I mean, it was a good match. I mean, it really didn't need to be a street fight because they barely used any weapons. But,
I don't understand why the New Day got a rematch, though. Like, it's just random as hell that they got a rematch. It was just...
Hey, I'm not complaining.
I'm complaining because there should have been they should have done something on the show where, like, they challenge the new Usos to a rematch, and they say, okay, but if we win, you don't get any more title matches against us as long as we're champs. Just something simple like that, because it just seemed like weird, because they lost the tag match and then just got a rematch anyway. Like, I feel like they should have built to the rematch. But
Good.
Good street fight. The biggest thing I hated about the street fight is they just worked it like a regular tag match in the beginning. Like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah. They didn't even go anywhere. Should have just been falls down anywhere.
I know. But before the match, Adam Pearce came in and said that he was going to announce Roman Reigns' next challenger for the Universal Championship. Roman Reigns just basically told him to fuck off, though. Like, that's what he did. I even love the part when he mentioned, as long as it's against you, I'm not interested. So, whatever. I thought, like, Roman Reigns was just being mean to Adam Pearce for no reason. Like,
meanie.
Huh?
What a meanie.
Yeah. But who was the opponent that... Why don't you talk about the opponent that ended up being announced? I mean, you kind of already talked about it because you blew your load, but why don't you just talk about it anyways?
No, I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Talk about it.
No, I don't want to talk about it.
All right, fine, I'll talk about it. Unless you want to talk about it.
No, I don't want to talk about it.
Somebody knocks on the door, and we think it's Adam Pearce. I even love how when the knock happens, like, Roman Reigns just isn't even into it. Like, he doesn't even, like, like, he's just, like, it's like as if how sometimes you react when the door knocks if you're, like, sleeping or something. Like, that's basically how Roman, like,
he just kind of, like, got up. It's like, hey. He's like, gotta get up.
And who was the opponent, Chris? Who was it?
Seth freaking Rollins.
Yep.
Seth freaking Rollins. This is now his opponent. Unfucking believable.
And why don't you say something? I don't remember if we talked about actually on camera or what, but why don't you say something special that happened about what his knock?
Me being a mark for the Shield, as I am, and will always be. It's my favorite stable in the history of professional wrestling. Seth did his little knocky knock to the Shield theme. It was awesome.
Yeah, ruled.
So fucking cool. And then he came in and laughed in his face, which was hysterical. And then he left. And they cut to black and he left. I was like, what the fuck?
I love Roman's reaction when he's laughing too. He's just looking at him like...
He's just like, what the hell is wrong with you? And then apparently, this is kind of different. He's a face now.
Okay.
Because after the show, they did an angle where the Usos were beating him down. And then...
You mean the New Day, right?
That was the Usos.
Yeah, but you said so the Usos were beating Seth down.
Yeah. Seth were beating Seth down at the end of the show. And he had his big babyface comeback. And he was looking for support from the crowd, and he got support from the crowd. So he's going to be the face.
I'm in. I don't know if it's temporary, but I'm gonna be into like seeing this gimmick done as a babyface will be kind of cool actually. So
Yeah. It's what he's done everything as a heel.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like it's the right thing to do. To turn it
behave
back.
on-
And he's on SmackDown now too.
Okay. I wonder if they're gonna explain that, or if he's just on SmackDown and they won't explain it. Because you know how that works.
Yeah. They'll just randomly be there.
Yeah. Like remember like 2 years ago, like when AJ got traded to SmackDown and they never explained who was traded for until like a month later.
Yeah, they're just never gonna do it.
Yeah. There's a couple of things we forgot to talk about. Edge and Beth Phoenix are facing The Miz and Maurice. They set that match up at the Royal Rumble. Sure, why not? I feel like I don't know. I don't really hate it, but it's like I feel like the conclusion that Edge Miz feud was kind of at day one. I don't really think you need to do another match, but whatever.
Yeah, I guess it's a tag match and then it's over because Maurice to get involved, so that brought up Beth.
Yeah. I wonder who Edge is facing at Mania. Because I thought it'd be AJ, but AJ's a face now. It won't really work. So,
honestly, don't know.
I hated this. Almost squashed AJ Styles. I hated that so much. I know they're trying to build up Almas, but it's like, did you really need to do it at the expense of AJ Styles?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It'd be one thing if AJ never even AJ never even knocked him off his feet or anything like that. Like he got no offense in.
Yeah, like he didn't get anything. Again, they're trying to build Omos up like he's this, the big unstoppable giant. But yeah, I get it. But
he's terrible.
Not at AJ's expense.
He's terrible. Like I think we've talked. I can't believe they fired Braun Strowman but kept Almas. Like, terrible.
I can't believe they didn't fire Braun Strowman quicker.
And then what else? I think
he was so irrelevant for so long before they released him.
I know.
Now he's teaming with EC3.
I actually like that team up though. So, but anyhow, so that's everything that's going on the main roster. I guess but let's talk about another show. Let's talk about NXT. Pause. All right, so now we're going to review NXT New Year's Evil. So I'm going to be real with you. This is the first time I've watched NXT 2.0. I haven't watched NXT since Vince took it over. I'll admit I didn't really want to because I love the black and gold NXT, and I was worried because obviously I think we all knew this day was coming. And I think I've talked about this. I think you and I have talked about this, and James have talked about this. Vince probably always was in control of NXT. Well, not always, but when it went to USA, he had some part of control of NXT, but now he's like full on taking control of NXT.
100% in control now.
But yeah, you're going to be shocked. Now, it could have been too because this was a big pay-per-view, so this wasn't like a weekly TV show. I really liked it. I couldn't believe this was a show produced by Vince, NXT of all things, produced by Vince. Couldn't believe it. I'll say the biggest thing I like better about this NXT than the old NXT. I feel like the wrestlers just stand out more because I feel like
it's not like there's no indie talent really anymore. It's all
but I feel like I know watch the fiery comments are gonna be here, but I feel like there's something different about like Braun Becker than like a Grayson Waller. Like I feel like on NXT, the old NXT, nobody was really different. No one really stood out. I feel like a lot of people stand out on this NXT more than the old NXT. That's probably the biggest thing I like better about this one. Not saying I do like it better, but that's just one thing I like better about it. So
I agree. Like I'm really a huge fan of Braun Breaker.
Yep.
Because people should know this by now, but Bronson Rechsteiner is Rick Steiner's son, which makes him Scott Steiner's nephew, which is awesome.
But let's talk about this show and go through it a little bit by bit. They had the title versus title match. It was going to be Roderick Strong defending the Cruiserweight title against Carmelo Hayes' North American title. basically this was them getting rid of the Cruiserweight Championship and keeping the North American title. Not a fan of it. I love the Cruiserweight Championship. However, unfortunately, it makes sense because Vince doesn't like Cruiserweight wrestling. He doesn't want to waste his time with any of that stuff.
Shorties, get out of here.
Yeah.
Only big boys.
I think they could have kept it though, but it is what it is. It's done now. I can't do anything about it. So,
you could just go back in time and change it and have it be a not for both titles.
Make me a time machine then. So.
Okay, well.
Yeah. So, Carmelo Hayes ended up winning the NXT. Well, he's the new North American champion, pretty much. I like him.
Yeah, it's basically the North American Championship.
Yeah. I like him a lot. He's really
super
good.
talented.
Yeah, I really like Carmelo Hayes. And I enjoyed the match. I thought it was a great match. You can never. I don't think Roderick Strong's capable of having a bad match. So.
He says that match is excellent.
Yeah.
It sucks that the Cruiserweight title is going bye-bye, but it just felt like this with this brand especially. There was no need for 3 titles. There's only need for 2, and because the roster's not huge, so it's a decent sized roster, but it's not big.
Yeah, it's not as big as
just
the
enough contenders for each title.
Yep. Then AJ Styles came out and he basically talked about, he really put over NXT. I don't know which one he was putting over because he mentioned the biggest regret he had was not wrestling at NXT when he came to WWE, but I think they don't tell us this, but it was the old NXT that he wasn't on. So it was still the old NXT when he came to WWE. So I don't know which NXT he was talking about really. So
it was this one.
Why would he not want to wrestle Von Wagner? Dream match.
No, that fucking stiff bastard.
Yeah, we'll talk about him later. But then he talked about how he wants to wrestle in NXT. He wants to give Grayson Waller a beating. And Grayson Waller came out and he cut like a really good promo.
He's a really good heel.
Yeah. I like how they tried to make it make sense where like the reason he got destroyed so easily by Omos is because he was thinking about him. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. He basically insulted all of AJ Styles' credentials, and they led to a fight, and now they're going to have a match next week. I'm really excited about that match. I can't wait for it. I don't really know I don't really know who you have win, because it could really go either way. Grayson Waller could win, and it could be a huge victory for him. But see, this is why I hate the Almost Thin, because the Almost Thin just happened. It will kind of make AJ Styles look weak now if he loses to Grayson Waller. So
yeah. Either he puts over Grayson Waller, or he beats Grayson Waller. It won't really hurt Grayson either.
No, because he'll look good for having a great performance. I'm just saying.
That's all you have to do is make it be like a really competitive match.
I'm just saying this is why you don't book AJ Styles a job out to Almost, because then maybe you could make an argument for Grayson Waller to win. So,
exactly. So if AJ had won that match and then he goes and faces Grayson wins, it's not going to hurt him at all.
But now
I can afford a loss.
Yeah.
Because Grayson's kind of a bit like a douche. So like in a way, it's like it makes sense for AJ to win.
And then we had MSK and Riddle versus Imperium. I was gonna say not the whole group, but I forgot one of them's gone now, so it is the whole group now. So
the whole group.
This is great.
That is the whole, like RVD says, that's the whole fucking show. This is the whole fucking group.
Yep. This was great. This was a great match. I loved the team up of Matt Riddle. I know he's not Matt Riddle anymore, but I'm calling him Matt Riddle. And MSK was awesome.
No such person does not exist.
Huh?
When you try to type in Matt Riddle, it says source not found.
Okay, so this Riddle, who's Matt Riddle? That guy doesn't exist.
Nope. His name's just Matt.
Wait, does that actually happen if you look up Matt Riddle?
No.
I thought you tried it. But yeah, they had a really fantastic match. I love the team up of MSK and Riddle. I wish they were going to continue it, but it looks like that's going to be the end of it now, which kind of sucks.
And the crazy thing was, it wasn't even supposed to be Riddle.
Oh, who was it supposed to be?
Jeff Hardy.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He's supposed to have like a lengthy run done in NXT as the Shaman. But with him being released,
yeah,
they put Matt Riddle in there last second.
And then he really was this, and then Jeff Hardy really was a Shaman. Probably. We don't know.
I love the gimmick. It's just like people just like smoking weed.
Yeah.
The gimmick is just being high all the fucking time.
Yeah. I'm in a sense kind of happy though that it wasn't Jeff Hardy, because then we'd be back to, I think I'd be complaining about it more so. But since it's Riddle, it makes it funnier because he doesn't have, to our knowledge, any drug problems or anything. So
it's just like it's just the funniest fucking gimmick that Riddle's in, because Riddle's a stoner. So it's like
I kind of wish they could get like RVD to be in this group too. That would be
the best. That's what I thought it was when they first started doing the Shaman thing. I was like, oh, it's RVD, clearly, because he just gets high all the time.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, Riddle makes sense, though.
Yeah. I love this match, though. The biggest thing I loved about it was obviously, because this is the only time we're probably going to see it. Well, maybe not, but was seeing Riddle and Walter mix it up. I thought that was awesome.
It's important, though, if this goes on more.
Well, I don't know. Walter's having his last match in the UK next week, and
he's going stateside full time. I think he's moving to the States.
Yeah, which is kind of interesting because he said he never wanted to do that. So
you know why? You know why he's open to it now?
Why?
He got divorced.
Oh, okay.
So that's the only thing that was keeping him in. I think he was based, I think, in England or Germany. I forget. I think it was Germany. But now that relationship's over, he's now more open to coming. Yeah, he's obviously coming to the States now. But I think it's full time now.
I thought at first he didn't want to go to the States because he wanted to avoid Vince's booking, but I guess that wasn't the case.
I mean, he was lucky. I mean, with a guy like that, though, how do you fuck that?
I don't know.
I mean, I've said that about every fucking talent under the sun. But
how did they fuck up Keith Lee?
Exactly. But they did.
Yeah, great match right here. And White Team obviously went over. So, and then later on in the show, no more Shaman. He's leaving. He's going to greener pastures.
He's going to greener pastures, all right.
I didn't even mean to do that. And the Creed brothers.
You know exactly what you were doing.
The Creed brothers came up. I don't even know who the hell these guys are, and they're gonna feud with MSK.
They're fucking beasts.
Huh?
They're fucking beasts.
Oh, you like them?
They're what Vince is doing now. He's hiring a lot of like amateur wrestlers and stuff like that. And obviously, like Gable Stevenson and his brother Bobby Stevenson, they were like collegiate wrestlers. And so weren't the Creed brothers. I think were amateur wrestlers. But like they're like awesome. They remind me a lot of like more talented like Steiner brothers.
So I have to wait and see what
they're really fucking good.
And then what else happened on this? We had some backstage segments I'll talk about real quick. Pete Dunne did a promo on this guy Tony Delato. I don't remember his name, but
Tony D'Angelo.
I was gonna say D'Angelo, but I didn't think that was gonna be right.
His gimmick is that he's Italian. That's it.
Yeah.
It's like the only like he's like a stereotypical Italian. Like, hey, like, where's the gabagoo?
I'm gonna be honest though. He was kind of promo because he broke his fingers or something. No, his hand with a nightstick. I don't care about the match now because it's clawball on a pole match, and anything on a pole I don't care about. So.
Well, it's Pete Dunne. So you should. By the way, speaking of Pete Dunne and I'll say it at the end. I'll say it at the end because I don't want to.
Okay. We'll say it now.
Because it makes sense.
Oh.
Which after we do the match.
Then what else? We had a backstage segment with Caden Carter, with Casey Catanzaro and somebody else.
Don't even care because it's a shit feat. It's a shit. They're both terrible.
And then I don't even know who came up. Like somebody came up wanting a match. At first they wanted a match. No, it was Indy Hardwell and some other person.
Persia.
Yeah,
another Australian.
And then they were gonna do a 6-woman tag. There was like somebody on their cell phone that like wasn't into it. I don't even know what that was about. And then
Guess to show you, it doesn't even fucking matter.
And then somebody was like sleeping, and then they were in the. I don't even care about this at all. That was terrible.
I don't care about Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter at all to begin with.
It's something I didn't realize. I didn't realize her and Ricochet split up. Casey Catanzaro.
A long time ago, apparently.
I wonder what happened there.
It's because Ricochet is dating Samantha Irvin now, who's a NXT commentator. She's the new. I think she's the new NXT ring announcer.
Yeah, it's interesting. What else? We had the women's championship match. It was Mandy Rose defending against Cora something and Raquel Gonzalez. Cora Jade. I was gonna say Cora's Joel, but that's somebody else. Because I got that like Joe. I got Joe and Cora Jade mixed up somehow. So Cora Joel.
It's apostrophe S. It's Cora's Jades.
Mandy Rose came in on a helicopter. I don't know why, but
I don't know why, because she thinks she's hot, I guess.
Yeah, she used to be, so.
Yeah, it used to be like 2 years ago, or a year ago, or last year.
I like how
this whole like dark-haired Mandy Rose is not doing it for me.
Nope. I like how yesterday I even tried to go on. I sent you a private text saying Mandy Rose isn't as hot as she used to be. I don't want to be controversial, and you just went right into it, like.
Yep, she's not attractive anymore.
This match was not that good. I didn't really think so. I was like, I don't even understand why Cora Jade was in the match. She wasn't even in it really. Like it was mainly a one-on-one match between Mandy Rose and.
It's the whole thing is she hurt herself at War Games doing a flip dive off the top of the War Games structure. She did like a swanton and like hurt herself, and it showed like toughness. So they had a triple threat match. This triple threat match that happened was the original match, but then at the week before on NXT, they decided that they wanted to spice things up a little bit. And instead of Toxic Attraction, which is JC Jane and Gigi Dolan, who were Mandy's associates, Mandy pulled them out of the match and had Io Shirai and Kaylee Ray face Cora Jade and Raquel Gonzalez. And the winner of that tag match would go on to face Mandy in a triple threat match at New Year's Eve. So Cora and Raquel won. So they were the original match that was the triple threat ended up being that match anyway.
Oh my gosh, it sounds so complicated.
It's so complicated just to have the people who were originally in the match. It stayed the same. Nothing changed.
Maybe Vince, you definitely know Vince definitely took this over then, because it's just, and then there's one thing you wouldn't see.
It's convoluted.
You wouldn't have seen this in the old NXT.
Overcomplicated it just to add another week on the TV, basically.
I didn't even see it. I don't even know what's going on. You actually saw it and I'm confused, and I'm confused.
It's confusing as hell. Like, why? So Raquel and Cora won the match. So they just had the same match that was planned anyway.
It's so stupid.
Made no fucking sense.
One spot in the match that was really bad. I don't know if it was a botch or not. It seemed like it was. So Raquel Gonzalez picked up Cora Jade in a gorilla press, and they do the spot where they throw him out, and I think Mandy was supposed to catch her, but then she missed, and like they just kind of stood there. They didn't really know what to do after that. I think that was a botch. I don't think that was supposed to happen, because if you notice, Cora Jade was like out of the match like the rest until the finish, pretty much. So
she probably got like not hurt, but like
knocked out.
Not selling or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that.
I don't want to call it a stinger because that's like a neck injury, but like
that. You're not gonna convince me otherwise. That looked like a botch to me.
It probably was a botch, honestly. It's Mandy Rose. Everything she does is pretty much a botch.
The finish was terrible. Like, Cora Jade went for a roll up, and Mandy Rose just reversing into her own roll up. I know, like, that's a typical finish. I don't know why. I just didn't like it this time. I just wasn't a fan of it. So,
yeah, awful.
Man, I don't think there's gonna be any. I don't think anyone's gonna debate. I think Mandy Rose. I mean, she has a lot to live up to, but she's probably gonna be the worst NXT Women's Champion ever. Like,
it's not good. People just bypass it because she was hot. Like, she's really hot. Yeah, I mean, what else can she do?
I don't know what happened though. She was good. She was good in the matches with Sonya Deville. I don't know what happened.
I guess it's just someone who's at her skill level, maybe.
I don't know.
Sonya's so painfully average at best.
Yeah. And then I think the segment had already happened, but we'll just cover it now. Andre Chase, I love Andre Chase. He's basically got like what kind of Timothy Thatcher / Chad Gable is, but a babyface, which is awesome.
Yeah, really strange. Because he's a heel.
So you can imagine what I was thinking, by the way, because he was mentioning like this guy he's going to graduate, and he's being graduated for like going to be thrown off. So you imagine what I was thinking when he said he was going to get thrown off a building for me. Can you imagine what I was? Because I didn't even see it, so I was like, wait, what did he just say? What did he just say? Like,
he's going to find his way off that damn building.
Yeah, it was like a Rey Mysterio, Aleister Black getting thrown off the roof type deal. So, so then he's going to graduate this guy from the Chase Academy or the whatever it's called. And Von Wagner. Now, I got to tell you, I haven't seen him wrestle, but the promo he cut was freaking terrible. Like, I don't even know.
He's literally awful. He is literally so fucking bad.
I don't even know how to describe this promo because I don't know what this promo made Brian Pillman Jr.'s promo like that he cut.
Brian Pillman Jr. promo sucked.
Huh?
And Brian Pillman Jr.'s promo sucked.
But this promo made Brian Pillman Jr.'s promo look like a 5-star promo. Like, that's how bad this promo that Von Wagner came out and cut was. Like,
it was awful.
I don't even remember what he said, but I just remember it was bad. Then he attacked Andre Chase and he attacked the graduate. The punches that he threw didn't look convincing at all. Like, they looked bad. There's a one point where he led to it. I don't even know I think he forgot what he was supposed to do because he attacked us. I think he attacked a security guard. I don't even know if he was supposed to or whatever. Like, it was weird. Like,
yeah, weird. This is terrible.
Hopefully he's better in the ring, but I'm not getting my hopes up.
He's not. He's clunky. He's just bad.
I don't know, but anything else? Anything else you want to say about Von Wagner that hasn't been said?
He's terrible.
It's already been said. Say something else.
Shit.
Say something nice about it.
If you step in dog shit and that's like that smell, that's him. It's shit.
Say something nice about it specifically. Or would you just sit here in silence until you say something nice about him?
No, say something nice about him. He has long hair.
Good job. It's actually not even good blonde hair. Like, I don't know. It's weird. You know, I didn't see like Huh?
He looks deformed.
His voice doesn't even match up like what he would like. You see this big guy. His voice doesn't like match up like how you would think he would sound. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he doesn't look anything like it.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound anything like it. It's almost like Luther.
At least Luther, I don't know. Luther actually, like, if you actually hear how Luther actually talks in real life and...
Yeah. It felt like a normal promo, not like a fucking squeaky promo.
But, like,
he still hasn't really, like high-pitched... No.
Von Wagner just needs to get fired.
He needs to get released.
I don't like to ask for people's jobs to get fired, but... You know what's going to happen, too? I bet, like, This should be
It's gonna
hilarious.
be the Jinder Mahal situation.
No, this is gonna be hilarious, right? Von Wagner's gonna get fired, and AEW's gonna sign him, thinking he's like this hot talent and all this type of stuff.
No, it's gonna go the other way around. They're gonna keep him, and they're gonna push him to the moon, even though nobody thinks he's good. I wonder where that's been used before.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's gonna be tested right. He's being tested right to the top.
No, here's what should happen too. We should go to NXT and you should chant test Von Wagner just to make sure.
Oh, he's gonna get tested right. They're gonna give him a test as the NXT champion.
Yep. Then we had the main event. This main event was awesome. Oh, before we get to the main event, there's other backstage segments that happened. The girl that's with Legado del Fantasma, Zai Quinn, and what's his name? Santos Escobar are gonna have a match, and whoever wins gets to leave with this girl. Makes me not care about that match at all now. Like, who cares?
Weird fucking match. Like, who fucking cares?
And then Boa's faces some other guy, and he's got like the dark side inside of him. I don't even care about that. So, I mean, maybe I'll care about it next week though. So, something I'm excited about is the men and women's Dusty Tag Team Classic is coming back. I am glad that's something Vince kept from the old NXT. I was kind of worried he wasn't going to do that this year, but I'm glad Vince is keeping that.
Yeah.
And then we had the main event. Tommaso Ciampa defending the NXT Championship against Braun Breaker. Very good match. I didn't see the first match they had, but so I don't know if it was better or worse. But this match told a really nice story. Obviously, the finish came when he hit the Bulldog from the top, which obviously was a nice callback because that's the move that he kayfabe messed up, not like in real life messed up. That cost him the win the first time, and then he hit the recliner. I almost said the Steiner recliner, but that's not his name, so you can't call it that.
The Breaker recliner.
Breaker recliner.
Or the Wreck recliner.
Nope. Breaker recliner. That's a terrible name.
Or the Braun thing.
Yeah, whatever. And he won the championship. He got put over huge, and yeah, I loved it. He's the first one of like the NXT 2.0 era to win I know technically Imperium was, but they were also in the old NXT, so I only count them. And I know Mandy Rose was, but I'm not counting Mandy Rose. I refuse. Like, this is like the first one of like the original crop of NXT 2.0 talent to win an NXT championship. So, I love the match. What do you think of the match?
It was good. It was awesome. Right person won.
Yep.
And so like I was teasing, Pete Dunne and Tommaso Ciampa both had dark matches on SmackDown this week.
Okay.
So, with potentially them moving up, could happen.
Yeah.
I mean, what the hell is it to do for Tommaso at NXT anymore? It doesn't fit him anymore. It doesn't fit him. The whole situation just doesn't fit him.
Yeah, and that they should get him on main roster because you don't want him. It would be kind of sad though if he leaves because he'd be like the last guy of like the original Golden Brand era of NXT. I know Pete Dunne would be the last guy, but I feel like because Tommaso Ciampa he's been in NXT since 2015 when the DIY originally came in for the first Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. He's been in NXT for a while.
He's been in NXT ever.
So it's gonna be weird. But yeah, that was New Year's Evil. I thought it was a really good show. I would have said a great show, but the thing that really hurts this show was the women's title match and Von Wagner. He just really
Von Wagner hurt everything.
Yep. So yeah, that's it. We're done with NXT. Let's talk about AEW now. Oh, what do you give NXT New Year's Evil? Was a great. I gave it a B.
I give it a B plus because Braun Breaker winning was awesome. I think he's literally going to be the next biggest star in WWE. Easily.
Okay, I want to talk about.
I think he's got a few years done in NXT.
Yep.
But I think he's like main roster bound within the next like 3 to 4 years.
Since you kind of brought it up, let's talk about it. The one thing that's I think the biggest positive that no one's really going to think of with Vince taking over NXT now is hopefully there's no worry about him screwing anybody up on the main roster because he's already booked them now. Like it's his guys he's going to be winning up. So,
makes sense. Like it honestly like these are his people that he signed.
Yeah.
So like he's gonna push Braun Breaker. He's gonna push these guys.
Yep.
Makes sense.
I mean, what does it mean for Triple H in the future of WWE now? Because he's probably not taking it over now because he basically just got NXT pulled from under him.
Yeah, it's basically not even really his.
I do wonder. Had he not had his heart attack, if it would have happened later or sooner. Like, if he would have been able to run it the rest of the year, and then Vince would have changed it, like, early this year. But obviously, his heart attack / cardiac arrest, whatever it was, probably, made it have to happen earlier. But we're done talking about WWE now. We're going to move on to AEW. Let's move on. Paul. So you really don't want to talk about AEW now, do you?
I do.
Oh. So we're going to talk about the first show that took place on TBS because it was a pretty big show. I got over 1 million views because more people have TBS than TNT and all that type of stuff. So that makes sense. I thought they started off with a bang on TBS. They had a really exciting show, and we're just gonna start talking about it. So, the opening match was Hangman Adam Page defending the AEW World Championship against Bryan Danielson. I love this heel run of Bryan Danielson in AEW. It's been awesome, and it might be, if things go well, it could be the best run of his career. It's just so interesting how that happened. I thought he would have been a babyface in AEW. But him turning heel was the best thing. It made Page a better babyface. And if he had turned heel on anybody else, I don't think it would have worked as well. Like, I think Page was the perfect guy to turn heel on. If you notice, too, he turned heel in Hangman Adam Page's hometown, which really made it work.
Yeah.
And every time since he's been a heel, when he's had a match, he's faced somebody in their hometown, which really helped. So, this match was tremendous. This time they had the judges. They were legends. I was kind of disappointed in the judges. I thought it would be somebody else, but it was Paul White, Mark Henry, and Jerry Lynn. I felt bad for Paul White and Mark Henry because you always expect like these big expectations of when they bring somebody in, and it's always them. Like that's nothing against them. I just think they'll always put in a position to fail because they are legends. But when you think legends, you think like that's going to be like someone coming back or something like that. So I feel bad for them. I thought this was a tremendous World Championship match. I don't think it was better than the first match, but I thought it was pretty damn fantastic. Hangman Adam Page won, which I think was the right result because it was, he hasn't had the belt all that long. But I thought Bryan Danielson looked really strong. He kicked his ass halfway through the match. They both got busted open, and it was different. They had a challenge here because they had to do a different match because it was kind of tough. I was wondering what they were going to do because they wrestled for an hour last time. So I'm like, how can you do anything different? But I thought they did enough stuff different this time. And I think what really helped their match was everything they went for in this match was countered and the other person went for it. So, for example, in the last match, Bryan Danielson bashed Hangman Adam Page's head into the post. This time when he went for it, it was counted and Page did it. So that's kind of what happened in this match. I bet the judges feel like they wasted their time. They were over there taking all these notes and stuff. I bet when Page won, they were just like, well, this means nothing now. They just ripped up their piece of paper and You notice they walked away afterwards. They were like, "What did I wasted my time being out here?" So
See, the thing is with that match is it was a really good match. There was no need for judges because they could have just had that finish be the second match.
yeah. Oh, you mean the first match? You mean?
The first match. The first match, yeah. But like they didn't need to go to a time limit draw.
I think what I would have done differently in this match is just do Paige's idea. Just have this match have no time limit and just have the same finish. So, I didn't really hate the fact that the first match, had a time limit draw because it built.
Wasn't a fan.
Huh?
Wasn't a fan.
In my opinion, it makes the time because you have to have a championship match have a draw. It's an
if that was Bryan Danielson's first draw, I would have said, okay, I'm fine with it. But that was the second draw already.
That is true. That was the second draw.
That to me waters it down. And the fact that it felt like a slog to get to that time of the draw match, too.
Oh, yeah,
the last 30 minutes of that match felt like it took forever.
I don't blame you on that.
Nothing was happening.
But I actually enjoyed the match for what it was. So
I like this match better. The time of the draw one was good, but this one's much better.
Then it was the next match. It was supposed to be MJF versus I think you're laughing because
Captain Sean Dean.
Yep. He got his first win in 2022. So here's what happened. So CM Punk ran out, and he just immediately caused a disqualification. So that means MJF's coming in to AEW with a loss. I actually kind of like this because CM Punk did warn MJF that this is going to happen until you get into the win with me. I did, and I really liked it. They don't do DQ finishes often, so when they do it, it means something. I don't think they've done a DQ finish for a while, so I was okay with this.
Did that be hysterical if, like, every single time MJF had a match, Punk just came out and just interrupted it, and he's like 0-100?
Yeah, it'd be hilarious. So the GTS CM Punk can't look like crap, though.
That looked like shit. I was like, wow, he didn't even connect with his face. He connected with the air about 3 inches away from his face.
And they threw
because I think when he went for the knee strike, I think he tossed him like too far out.
Yeah.
So when he went for the knee strike to connect, he completely missed him.
So then they cut some jabs on each other, where MJF basically said that CM Punk's a liar because literally last week he said he was gonna just move on from him. Well, this week he just completely came out here and he talks about how CM Punk needs MJF. Sorry, not PG Punk needs MJF.
PG Punk, I love it. It's funny to me because he calls him he called Punk a bitter old man. Or a bitter, jealous old man for being for not main eventing WrestleMania. And then Punk said, I personally didn't like the Punk line.
I was alright with it because
it was honestly, I hated it because it was just stupid. He's like when he said, "Oh, it's a 4-night extravaganza," whatever he said, and then he said, "Oh, in 8 months you're gonna get released." I'm like, who the fuck are you to determine that?
I think what he was trying to do, he's trying to get over the fact that no matter what, you can't escape from CM Punk, pretty much. I think that's what he was trying to get over, pretty much.
I think he was basically taking a shot at WWE, the fact they keep releasing everyone every 8 months.
And
the fact that he basically says that two-night WrestleMania is watered down. But he won't say that about Wrestle Kingdom now, would he?
No.
Because Wrestle Kingdom's 2 nights.
That's
2-night extravaganza.
That's 6.5 hours, too, so...
WrestleMania is what, 3 hours each night?
Yeah.
4 hours max?
And I'll say it too. If WrestleMania had been 2 nights, he probably would have main evented one of them too. So.
He probably could have. But that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
He's just bitter.
But then I love this. So CM Punk just says, "I just want a match with you." So MJF teases like, "Okay, you want the match? Next week you're gonna face," and he does this. Wardlow, it was so great. Like,
it's gonna be it's gonna be some sort of DQ finish, I think.
No, because they're pretty good about not doing like DQ finishes. Like I think CM Punk's actually gonna beat Wardlow, and then MJF will come beat him down or something like that.
Or like a count out. Or something. He's gonna Wardlow's gonna win, but I think MJF is gonna get involved somehow.
I think the opposite. I think Punk's first loss should be like at a big show, like to MJF or something. So I think Punk's actually gonna win, but then MJF will beat him down. So.
See, you could do this. You could have it be like MJF inadvertently cost Wardlow the match by hitting him with a ring.
Yeah, that could happen.
Because again, they're teasing that breakup between those two. By the way that he said, like, hey, where was the champagne when I had my big victory?
Yeah.
And Wardlow just staring fucking daggers through him the whole time.
And they did set up that thing where if he wins a championship, MJF automatically gets the title. So
so it sets up that huge, like, it's probably going to be over the summer, though, I think. Or springtime. Maybe double or nothing.
We'll talk about it now since we're on the topic. So Wardlow squashed some random guy. And they're really building to it because they're telling him not to do the power bombs. But obviously, the power bombs is what getting him over right now. So I think what's going to happen is at some point this year, MJF's winning the world title. I think he's going to either beat, I think he's going to beat Page for the belt either at Double or Nothing, or probably Double or Nothing. That's probably the time he should win the title. And I think either at All Out or Full Gear, we're going to get Wardlow versus MJF for the AEW World Championship.
I think All Out because that's the last big pay-per-view of the summer.
That's true. I'm trying. Yeah, that could happen. Or they could have Wardlow win the TNT Championship, and then when he has to hand it over to MJF, he doesn't hand it over, and that builds up to that match. But I think it works better if MJF's a champion and Wardlow has to chase him for the championship.
Yeah, or that rather than the TNT title because that would make sense.
Yeah.
You would have to hit because you would have to beat. But if he turns on him, he doesn't have to hand him the title anymore because it's no longer a contract; it's null and void.
Yeah. I'm really excited. And they're definitely doing it this year because this is the most because they've always teased it small. Like anytime MJF has this is the most they've actually teased that Wardlow's turning on him. So
yeah.
Then on this show, you had the finals of the TBS Women's World Championship tournament. It was Ruby Soho versus Jade Cargill. The match was good.
I wouldn't even say that. Match was mediocre at best.
Yeah, it was kind of mediocre. The best, actually, I was gonna say it was the best Jade, but it's not the best Jade match. It was probably the Thunder Rosa match. It's probably the better match. The finish was crap. She was supposed to hit the glam slam off the turnbuckles, but she completely botched it, bad. And she won the title. I think I have a feeling I don't think we need to talk about it. I think we both know why she won that championship.
I'll just say this. Damage control.
Yep. I just think damage control. That's all we'll say. Because I think they might be making a mistake. Because while Jade has the look, she's got to get in the ring, and she's not good in the ring at all.
She can't go more than 3 minutes.
Yeah, and
that's the problem. She goes more than 3 minutes, and she fucking starts botching everything under the sun.
I also think they made a mistake. It's kind of like damn that they don't, but I can understand not going with Thunder Rosa because she's probably beating Britt for the title, so they probably want to save that, but they probably should have just gone with Ruby Soho. I know it's one of those things, damn that they do, because then they'll get chastised for, putting on a former WWE person, but better than Jade.
Honestly. And to be completely honest, Ruby doesn't even feel special.
No, not at all.
She hasn't done anything. She's exactly where she was in WWE.
Yep. I'm going to be real with you.
In the lower mid-card, losing matches all the time.
Yep.
No one cares about her.
I'm going to be real. she didn't even feel special. She hasn't felt special. Like, I didn't even care when she came in. I was kind of disappointed, honestly, when she came in. I'm like, whoa, okay. Like,
I was like, at first, I was like, okay, thank God it's not Tessa Blanchard. That's I was like, because that was the rumor that it was going to be Tessa Blanchard. I was like, fucking thank God it's not Tessa Blanchard, because she's fucking insanely overrated. But like, other than that, like, she just has not felt like she's been pushed like at all.
No. She had that one match with Britt, and then that was pretty much it.
This does not vindicate her making it to the finals of the TBS Championship. Doesn't vindicate anything. The fact that she's been used horribly for the past fucking 3 or 4 months, or however long she's been in AEW.
Maybe she should have won then. That would have probably helped.
Help with her fucking like aura, I guess, like her character, like she's done nothing.
She looked like more of a loser because then they had to get like chastised by Britt and stuff, and like she looked like a loser on this show. Like,
oh yeah, completely.
And they set up that random tag match at Rampage that I didn't really care about.
I didn't care either.
And then the next segment, actually before this, I forgot about it. This was awesome. Was Chris Jericho? He came out and he called out Squarehead and Pinhead, and that's their names. That's what I'm calling them.
I wasn't a big fan of this promo. I just felt like it wasn't getting over.
I enjoyed it somewhat. The biggest thing I enjoy about it is I just enjoy that Jericho's working with these guys. The problem with them, here's the biggest problem, they haven't been winning. And they're feuding with Chris frickin' Jericho, and they're not winning like any match.
Yeah, exactly.
They lost the street fight last night, so
that's another thing. That's another WWE tag team that came in that has done nothing. Just because if you're friends with the Young Bucks, you're automatically getting a job if you're a free agent.
For sure. But yeah, I didn't mind the promo segment.
You'd be paid to sit in catering, like at one point, almost the entire WWE lower card was.
Yeah, but yeah, the promo segment was I definitely fine. I think the biggest thing, I think we're getting Eddie versus Jericho. They just don't want to do that match right away. Which I want to see. I can't wait to see Jericho versus Eddie. And the beauty part about it is, as we've seen with the Eddie CM Punk feud, no one's got a turn. Eddie can just easily cut a promo, and it would work just as well.
Exactly. Yeah, it would work perfectly.
The only thing is you have to get Jericho's been serious, but Jericho's got to get serious though when he feuds. And I think Jericho will understand that. He won't do any comedy bits when it's time for him and Eddie to feud, because I think he will get serious.
Easily, yeah.
Because there has been times where he's been serious in AEW, like with the MJF feud, he got serious at points. So
when he needed to be.
Yep. And then we had the main event. I'm trying to think of anything else that was important on this show. Oh, Malachi Black versus Brian Pillman Jr. was a fine match. I like that Malachi Black easily disposed of him.
Yeah.
He didn't completely squash him, but he didn't, it wasn't like a 50-50 match either. It was more like 70-30. So, there you go. And then afterward,
I'm thinking the finish to that before you hit the Black Mass was botched.
Yeah,
the springboard that Brian did. Yeah. I think I don't know how he managed to do that, but seems like he slipped.
Yeah,
and then front handspring into the ring, somersault into the ring, then got his head kicked off. My thing is, I think he was supposed to springboard into a Black Mass.
Yeah,
I think he kind of messed it up, but they recouped it really good, and then he did the Black Mass.
It kind of worked out for him because then since they recovered, they said he slipped on the top rope, so they did recover it and stuff. So
yeah. It was a good recovery.
And then I'm pretty sure there was some interviews. I think Ricky Starks was that this week or last week when Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs talk shit to Dante Martin. Was that this week or was that last week?
Now that was last week.
No, I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was this week because they set up Powerhouse Hobbs versus Dante Martin. I think it was this week where he basically said you're gonna regret turning on Team Taz and stuff. I still, by the way, I might be one of the few people. I really liked how they did that, where Dante Martin outsmarted Team Taz.
I like that. I really did. I thought that was cool.
And it's even though Leo Rush is a WWE guy, it's a feud that's between two AEW originals, pretty much. Because Leo Rush he's a big part of the feud, but he's not like it's mainly Dante that's the vocal point of the feud. So,
yeah.
How soon is Darius Martin due to come back?
I don't know.
Because if he's due to come back soon,
I would say within the next month or so, if I remember correctly.
They could keep this feud going then and have him come back and even out the odds and all that type of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I think he's coming back soon. I think it was a December timeline, I think, or November. Timeline, I think. Late November, December. But I think they're going the full. He might have said that too, I don't know.
During the Malachi Black match, the Lucha Bros came out and were like upset because obviously he took out Pac. There was also another backstage segment on the show where the Acclaimed promised a music video for Darby Allin and Sting. I'm really excited to see that. So I'm really excited to see that. So because they also produce very well. So they did some stuff to build up to Rampage, but I'm not gonna make you talk about it, so you don't have to.
I don't watch it, so I don't care.
I do want to mention one thing, just because it's not about Rampage, but it does tie in. When Adam Cole was cutting his promo on Jake Atlas, if you notice, Kyle O'Reilly didn't look very happy, and they made sure to mention. I like how they're not ignoring the history that they had like this big feud in WWE.
Exactly. He turned on him.
Yeah.
They, too many times people turn on each other, go to different promotions together, and next thing you know, they're like, I'm your best friend again.
That's not the case here, though. Like, they are.
It's not.
They didn't mention it. They didn't mention, you've turned on me before, and all this type of stuff. So I'm interested to see what happens there. The main thing I'm excited about is I'm excited to see Fish and O'Reilly team up again, so that's going to be awesome. But yeah, speaking of teams, we had the tag title match. This was the third match between these two teams. It was Jurassic Express versus the Lucha Bros. I almost screwed it up again. Remember, I would always accidentally mix
the Lucha Express?
Yeah, I almost did that again.
They're actually a thing about the Jurassic Express. Marco Stunt's contract coming up, and they're not going to resign him. And they're dropping the name.
Jurassic Express.
They're just going to be Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus now from going forward.
That's fair enough. I guess there's no reason to keep the name, right? Because one of the guys is gone. So I was going to ask what happened to. Because when's the last time Marco Stunt's been on TV? It's been a while.
There's a few contracts that are coming up soon. I think Brian Cage is one of them.
He's not going to be signed. There's no way.
There's I forget. There's there's 6 people's contracts there. No, in AEW.
Yeah. I have a feeling some people they're not going to be signed because they just lost $8 million last year. So, and of course they're going to get rid of people. I mean, I'm not really Brian Cage, obviously, because he's not going to be signed anyways. So it makes sense why he's going to be gone.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I get. I not wanting to keep Marco Stunt, but but it's just I'm just kind of pissed about it because he's been there since the beginning, and they're basically because they were so busy on signing everybody, they're gonna he's gonna be cut for basically no reason. So
yeah, exactly.
But not a lot of people, I guess, like Marco Stunt, which is weird because when he wrestles, it's not believable and all this type of stuff. Even though they never said anything when Spike Dudley was wrestling, so I don't know what's the difference.
Yeah.
anyhow, that's besides the point. This tag title match, though, I thought was absolutely awesome. Some people got mad that this main evented over the world title match. The way I look at it is there was a title change, so that's why I'm okay with it. And if you think about it, one of the most important matches on Dynamite every week typically is the opening match. I think that usually gets a pretty big spotlight, so I don't really think that's that bad of a thing. Like the biggest things, the biggest things that get the spotlight is the opening match and the main event. So, it's really like the opening match. Really, I mean, also too like everyone forgets this was the first match on TBS. What better way to kick off the opening match on TBS than with Bryan Danielson versus Heyman and Page? That's pretty damn huge. So
yeah, it's pretty huge. Yeah.
But anyway, this tag title match was awesome. This might be like the weakest of the three matches. The best match they probably had is the second match on Rampage in the tag title tournament finals.
Yeah.
Great. But yeah, I really enjoyed this match. It's kind of a good thing that they booked the Jurassic Express was supposed to win because, they would have had to vacate the titles because Ray Phoenix is definitely injured. I don't know how long, but he's definitely not going to be back for a while because that choke slam he took through the table when he landed. I knew he was hurt right when he landed, right on the shoulder too.
The thing is too, he didn't break his arm, which was initially expected. Looks like he just dislocated his elbow or something. He dislocated something. He's having more tests, but he's going to be out for a little while.
Yeah.
But nothing's broken, so which is good. Which is dislocation, you can heal quicker. You just need to let it heal.
Yeah.
Because if you rush back, you could injure yourself even more.
Yeah. And you can't really fault people get mad at probably AEW. You can't really Ray Phoenix isn't crazy anyways. Like he does all this type of stuff. I remember he got injured like right
before. You say like this is a dinosaur and you love a dinosaur.
I mean, that's what happens when you mess with a dinosaur. You need to know what the risks are. So,
he injures people.
That's what dinosaurs do. Like,
he's an injury man.
He doesn't understand. He's never been around people before. It's a dinosaur.
What about Jungle Boy? That's a person. Or is that a jungle and a boy? Which one is it?
It's a jungle and a boy. So.
So he was a jungle first, and then he became a boy?
Yes. What was I going to say?
He evolved really quickly from being a forest to being a human being.
I'm not going to question science. I don't know how that works. So, what I was going to say, one thing I didn't like about the match was they did a thing where, like, the lights went out, and it was supposed to be, like, Malachi Black costed them the match. But the match just continued, and like it didn't even really benefit. Like it didn't factor into the match. It just kind of felt like they did it out of like a random whim. Like it didn't even make any sense. Like
it's supposed to be for Brody King.
Brody King.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know he was going.
Yeah, he signed with the AEW, and he's teaming up with Aleister Black because they're the PWG Tag Team Champions, and they are like in a tag team.
Oh.
It's like a dark. Stable kind of thing. It's like a Ministry of Darkness type of thing.
We'll see how that works. But yeah, so they won the titles, and then basically all the heel teams and like everybody else was looking on at. There's some tag teams they can wrestle. They have a lot of options they can wrestle. I'm looking for.
They could just not wrestle anyone and then just retire with the belts. And then run off and then never wrestle again. And
they got the AAA tag titles. They can just defend those every week. So, yeah, that was AEW. Thought it was a hell of a show. They really haven't had a bad one. They haven't. They've been going for like 3 years, and they haven't had a bad show in my opinion. So,
I wouldn't say that. I mean, they've had some stinkers, but nothing like horrifically bad.
Yeah, not like that Raw in Milwaukee where Dean Ambrose was like afraid of germs and all that type of stuff. Not that one.
Yeah, that was dumb. That was a stupid segment.
Dumb. I mean, the worst one I can think of off the top of my head was that AEW show where Cody wrestled Peter Avalon and had like a 50-50 match or something. Do you remember
that was the worst fucking match I've ever seen. So he wanted to have a fucking 10-minute match with a jobber that had a finish halfway through the match.
Not even halfway
He
through,
got
like.
kicked in the dick and still won the match.
Yep.
Usually kicked one in the dick and that leads to the finish. He got kicked in the dick and had another 10-minute match and won.
No, the worst part about that, you remember too, like right away he hits his crossroads and everything, and then they still had like a match after that too.
That was
Like,
awful. It's the worst book match I've ever seen.
no, that was the worst one than that. Remember that Chris Statlander Riho match, the first one they had when it was like...
Oh, it was terrible. Oh, God. I guess it's been bad matches, but not like bad shows.
But there was other stuff on that show that was bad. Like, do you remember that was when they had the main event with, it was when all the Inner Circle went off in a triple threat match. That's when, like, the match was botchy and Jericho botched his lion salt and all that type of stuff.
Oh, that was awful. That was the MJF and Chris Jericho team.
Yep.
That was bad. Oh, that was awful.
And then they had that awful, I think it was on the same show. Wasn't that when Sheeta defended the world title, the women's title against Abaddon in an awful match?
Oh, that match sucked. Whatever happened to her? Oh, wait, that's right. She's disappeared like half the roster.
Well, they did do something with it. Like Serena Deeb, they're having a match next week.
Again?
Hey, didn't Cody...
How many fucking times are they going to do this match?
Stop. No, wait. Tony Khan says he doesn't do rematches. Remember that.
That's right. Tony Khan doesn't do rematches. He doesn't want to see the same match over and over and over and over again. Oh, wait a minute. That's right, Tony. You fucking liar. You did this Serena Deeb match against Sheeta fucking 4 times already. Oh, wait a minute. And what about Tay Conti and Anna Jay versus the Bunny and Penelope Ford? Oh, wait, you've done that like 6 times.
Yep.
What do you mean you don't like rematches? You've done it already. At least he's done this a bunch of times, and he says it's like rematches.
Yep. All right, let's finish this off. Let's do our predictions for Battle of the Belts. Pause. All right, let's do our predictions for Battle of the Belts. I'm looking forward to the show overall. I think it'll be a decent show. They're trying something new with the special events on TNT, which is going to be interesting.
It's basically Clash of the Champions.
Yeah.
But they can't use the name because WWE owns it.
Yeah. There's 3 matches on it, which makes sense because the show is only going to be an hour. So that's all that's all you need. One thing I don't like, the world title is not being defended. Like, that should be on the show. I think they should have...
They have the FTW title on instead.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I mean, I guess they were kind of booked in a corner a little bit, considering the fact that... Because I guess they could have done the Heyman Page Bryan Danielson match here, but I think I feel like if they did this match, 1, you needed a big match for TBS, and 2, I feel like if they did this match here, it would get rushed because it's only an hour. So, because that match between Page and Danielson went over 45 minutes on Dynamite this week. So.
Yeah, it's like 35, 40 minutes or something like that. It was really long.
Yeah, so I feel like, but yeah, there's going to be 3 matches on it. And they'll all be good matches, I think. We'll talk about one of them. Ricky Starks is going to defend the FTW Championship against Matt Sydal. This is obviously a way to get back at Dante Martin because Dante Martin faced Matt Sydal 3 times and didn't beat him till the 3rd match. So Ricky Starks wants to prove himself and, prove that he's better than Dante Martin by going out there and beating Matt Sydal his first match in, which he probably will.
Guaranteed.
Huh?
Guaranteed.
Ricky Starks is totally retaining this FTW championship. I think this is going to be a hell of a match. They're both really good wrestlers. And I just don't understand, why they're defending the FTW title. It's just really... It seems like the only reason they want to defend this title is because they can't defend the tag titles because they don't have a contender right now. And they can't defend the world title because Paige probably's like, I need a rest, bro. And then they should just, and they're already defending the women's belt. They can't defend the TBS belt because they just crowned the champion. So They're being weird and defending the FTW title. If that's what they want to do, I actually would have preferred the AAA tag titles to get defended instead of the FTW title. I think that would have been better.
Honestly, yeah. You could easily crown a new contender. It doesn't even have to be someone from Mexico. It could just be a fucking random tag team. It could be FTR versus whoever else.
I think they have a tag team from Mexico. They could. I mean, I know they're not a Mexican tag team, but they could do. I don't know how good the match would be, but they could do Luther and Serpentico. Like that's kind of like, you know.
I mean, yeah, because Santana and Ortiz are already in a match. Had a match literally last night. Well, technically on Wednesday, but
yeah,
it was taped. I think all this is taped at once, if I'm not mistaken.
I wonder if there was any. Come on, it's 11 o'clock chance.
I think it is, or no, because they're in North Carolina, so no, they weren't. So this is probably like a live thing.
And then so who are you picking? Ricky Starks or Matt Sydal for the FTW Championship?
Rick Stark.
Let's do another prediction. When's the next time you think he's going to defend this championship?
Never.
I'm going to say, when's the last? I'm going to say in 5 months.
They go on like every half a year pace.
Yeah.
To defend the title.
They should honestly just either get rid of it or put the title on someone that like Dante Mountain. I think would go out there and defend that championship every week.
But I don't think they do that.
And then we have the TNT. Well, sorry, no, interim TNT Championship match. It's going to be Dustin Rhodes versus Sammy Guevara. It's supposed to be Cody defending against Sammy Guevara, but Cody's got some type of medical issue. I think it's COVID related because he went on Twitter and tweeted to get your vaccination. It's weird.
Yeah, that was odd because they haven't said anything about it.
I know, and they usually say this is odd because they usually say something about it. They usually
say something about their fucking champion being out.
Yeah.
And being an unforeseen medical or something or whatever.
Yeah. And they're doing an interim TNT champion, which is kind of weird. Why not just vacate the belt and just make it the real TNT champion? But I don't know. Maybe they don't want to take the belt off Cody right now. Whatever.
It's basically a way to keep the belt on Cody, and it's basically whoever wins this match is going to face Cody.
Yeah, I think it's going to be
the TNT Championship, and they're going to merge both belts into one.
Yeah,
because you know why? It's Battle of the Belts, and if this match didn't have a belt on line, the show would be called Battle of the Belts.
I think Sammy's going to win the interim TNT Championship. And either face Cody or lose the belt to since they're doing that feud right now to Scorpio Sky since Cody's feuding with the Men of the Year, and he'll face Cody for the real TNT champion.
I think they're still gonna redo that match. I think Sammy's gonna win, and then whenever Cody's ready to come back, they'll have that match.
What if he's never ready?
He could be not ready ever again.
What if he?
And I just looked it up too, just to see what was going on with Cody on like Twitter and whatnot. Nothing.
Yeah.
It's radio silence.
Radio silence? Uh-oh. Matt Cardona's coming to AEW again?
Oh, yeah.
So who you picking?
Because the first thing you type in Cody, it says Cody Rhodes COVID, Cody COVID, and then Cody Rhodes.
Yep.
But when you click on them, that's literally nothing. There's no information. There's no nothing.
It's weird. Stop being weird, Cody. Enough. Who are you picking, Sammy or Dustin?
Oh, okay. Cody says he and Brandy are in isolation with family who have tested positive for COVID-19. Okay. He's a close contact, him and Brandy. So he's just doing it out of caution.
I don't know why they have to crown an interim champion then. He's literally going to be Roman was just back in 5 days, so maybe this is a different circumstance.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I wouldn't have. I mean, but if you take that title match away, it's not Battle of the Belts anymore.
Yeah.
So I can see why they did that. I mean, they already booked themselves into a corner by having it called Battle of the Belts.
Yeah.
Battle of the Belts, and now your second main champion's out, in isolation because of exposure to COVID. What do you like? You can't just not call Battle of the Belts anymore. So I guess I understand it.
Yeah, I guess so. So then it was oh yeah, who you picking, Sammy or Dustin for the interim team?
Fucking Sammy. Dustin's not winning that match.
What if he
You
wins?
kidding me? Dustin's not winning that match at all.
What if he went to the squash?
That'd be hilarious.
Would you laugh, be angry, or
it's Sammy Guevara?
Huh?
Guaranteeing I bet it's Sammy.
And then we have probably the main event, Riho defending the AEW Women's World Championship against
Kill me now.
DMD, Dr. Britt Baker. I think this will be a hell of a match. Britt Baker's probably winning with like a whole ton of interference, a ton of it. Ton.
Oh, yeah. Fucking, there's going to be Rebel's going to be at ringside. Jamie Hayter's going to be at ringside. And then fucking Thunder Rosa or whatever. Two Faces are going to come out, even the odds. And then Britt Baker's going to overcome and win.
Yep.
LOL.
Yep.
With the same fucking generic moveset that she's been using for 3 years.
I guess, sure. Why not? So yeah, that's our predictions for Battle of the Belts. We were just kind of joking around most of the time, but those are our predictions. So, nothing wrong with joking around, though, right? So.
No, everything's wrong with that. We gotta be serious all the time.
Nah, I don't even think we've been serious the whole show. I think we've just been sitting around and just shooting. I don't know.
Shooting shit.
Good thing you said shit. I just said shooting. That would have sounded like we were just shooting guns or whatever. So. Why does your screen get so small?
Because I felt like it.
Don't do that. That's mean. So. If you do that again, you can never be on the rundown. You can't be on anything anymore. Oh, you're done. See ya. Goodbye. You're fired.
I'm gonna leave.
No, don't leave. We have to end the show.
Then just fucking end it.
Pause. Okay, so yeah, we're ending the show now. That's just weird. It's just announced it. Like I just said, oh, we're ending the show now. Like obviously.
It's abrupt.
What was I gonna say? Oh, yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Chris,
it was all over the place.
Huh?
It was all over the place.
Yeah, Chris and I are probably. I would say we're rusty as hell, but I feel like this is not a different rundown than what we would have gotten if we were like doing it full time. Though I feel like we could have still
maybe less time though, because it wouldn't be this much stuff.
Yeah. This will be the last rundown that's like this. I didn't actually plan on it going over 2 hours. This is just we just get busy talking. You know, Chris and I also haven't talked like in person since like his 4th of July party, so I think that was half of the reason why it was so long too. So
we've seen each other or talked.
Yeah, so
physically made contact with each other.
Yeah, because I can't see you. Who's to say this is even you talking? You could have just recorded voices to respond to, and
I could have. I mean, I probably did.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know though.
But yeah, so I'm just gonna make a couple announcements before we end the show off. This is going to be we're not doing another rundown every week. This will be the last one, probably until like Royal Rumble time, so like the end of the month, couple weeks. And if you're wondering what's going to happen now that the rundown's only once a month, like I announced before, we're launching a new show. It's going to be the Aftershock Corner, Top 5 Flop 5s. Basically, we're going to look at wrestling throughout the week. We're going to say the top moments that we liked and the bottom moments that we didn't like. This way, too, we don't have to necessarily talk about everything. Someone can always bring a topic to the table and can crap on it or praise it or whatever. And it will be an exciting show. I hope you guys enjoy it. James and I are going to do the first episode, then Chris and I will do the second episode, and then Chris and his dog will do the third one, and I don't know who else will do the next one. I have a feeling, though, if you and your dog do that one, she'll probably eat her list and then yours. So,
yeah. I mean, or she'll just bark the whole time.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Is there any announcements you want to make?
Hi.
It's a good announcement, you know.
But no, we're getting back to the swing of things again. This is really fun.
Yeah.
Just doing this.
Retro's coming back next week. Should we tell them what we're doing, or should we just leave it as a surprise?
We should tell them. Gotta rope them in.
You want? I mean, it's my pick, but do you want to tell them what it is since you agree to it?
It's a show that we went to together.
It's the second episode.
The second episode of All Elite Wrestling Dynamite.
Yep.
And it was awesome. It was in 2019. Second episode ever. I'm shocked that Boston would get that a show that quickly.
I know. I didn't think so. We'll talk about that more. I haven't watched the show. I have not watched the show back since we went live too. I haven't watched it on TV or anything. So
I haven't either.
I wonder you'll probably have to find it illegally because I don't think you can find it like anywhere on YouTube or anything. So
yeah, I don't even know where you can find it, but I remember. I remember some of it though.
Yeah.
I remember the run-in at the end. I remember the Young match.
Yep.
That big schmoz brawl at the end.
The lights out match. The lights out match, even though because that's technically part of the show. The lights out match.
Yeah. That was awesome. That was insane.
I remember Moxley versus Spears.
Moxley and Spears. Oh yeah, Moxley and Spears. That's when Mox was wearing the trunks.
Yep. Oh yeah, he hasn't brought those. When did he switch?
Because that was his original New Japan gear.
Yeah.
His original New Japan gear when he went to New Japan after his release from WWE was he would wear like the trunks.
Yep.
And his AEW gear was like the long pants, the shield pants or whatever.
So that's. I'll be excited to do that. I'm really excited. I haven't to watch the show back and everything.
It'd be nice to watch it back.
It'll be interesting to see what I think differently if I like the show the same and everything too, because AEW was still in its honeymoon period. Like it was like So there's probably things we may not praise as well. So,
wasn't even a year old yet.
Not even. It was only their second show. So.
Second show on TNT and their fifth show, I think, in total. Sixth show, maybe?
Let's see. It was because it was Double or Nothing. Fight for the what was Fighter Fest? Fight for the Fallen. All Out. The first sixth show.
Yeah, sixth show in their existence.
Yep.
Not even a year as a company yet.
No.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, it will be exciting. That would be exciting to do that. And then so next week will be the launch of Top 5, Flop 5. So we'll be going through moments from this week until next week, and we're only doing like TV shows, so it won't be pay-per-view reviews will still stay as like a review.
That makes sense. To stay in that format.
So that's pretty much it, guys. And if you want to follow or subscribe to any pages or any YouTube channels, they're all in the description box. We're not going to announce them anymore. They're in the See that description box? You click on those links, and it takes you to wherever you need to go. So that's pretty much it, guys. We will talk to you guys later.